Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division Season 12 right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Tugi, joined as always by my broadcast partner. It is the one, the only Sin for the win, of course. And Sin, very big games here tonight. Of course, every day, every stream, feels like we got big games going on in the Elite Division, but as we've talked about all season long, we get that much closer towards the end of the regular season, and every point matters that much more, and I don't think we could really have a better example than our first matchup today. It's the 8 seed and the 9 seed, Ique and SAWO Esports, going head-to-head a little bit later on as well. Again, our defending champions in Philadelphia take on Jyväskylä, who are going to attempt to salvage their season. As you get a look at the games that are scheduled to be played today, we'll try to get you an update as all the action plays out. Very important games, really, Sin, across the league. Goons and Vesapampa. YMCA going to try to take some points off of H-Reds to stay towards a playoff spot. H-Reds actually playing 2 series today, as you can see. They're trying to make up some games. So very important stuff. ZSC Esports Tunnel Vision as well at the bottom. That could have implications on the relegation battle. There is not a lack of an interesting fixture that we have at this point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, as the later we go on in the season, all the narratives that we are talking about, they're really getting established. They're really kind of taking form here. You know, the playoff implications, the relegation battles. You know, is a team like Havu going to perhaps maybe struggle against a team like Rusty Blaze? You know, all these questions that are going to be answered here. But yeah, you said it. I mean, the H-Reds perhaps have the biggest couple series here as they take on, you know, a couple of those bubble sort of playoff teams in YMCA and Poggers.
Absolutely. So again, we'll get to that Philadelphia Jyväskylä series a little bit later on, but to kick things off here tonight, Ique and SAWO take center stage. Let's get you a look at the standings here so you can kind of get an idea of just how close these two teams are. Sin, key factor here in the battle between the 8 and 9, a 4-game at hand setup here for SAWO. I mean, this is a chance to make up that ground on Ique if they're able to do so. But Sin, how about that? The top 4, maybe who we expected. But look at that. YMCA in 5th with 6 games to go in their season at this stage. Again, so much that is still yet to be decided here.
Yeah, absolutely. But we can kind of see, you know, the playoff bracket sort of, you know, put some distance between itself and that right side. So we do know that SAWO has those games at hand. So especially against a team like Ique here, you know, this is essentially like the battle to secure your spot almost being played out. Now, SAWO probably want to at least get the split here, and that would get them closer to Poggers. I mean, maybe Ique, you know, since they still have those extra games played, you're not worried about them as much here. But like we said, every single matchup is huge. This is essentially a, you know, 4 possible point matchup each game. Like, it's a 4-point swing. So it really doesn't get any bigger than this when it comes to kind of deciding who might become in these playoffs.
So with that, let's take a look at the team stats here again for our first matchup, SAWO and Ique. Sin, obviously the offense is close, but what really stands out here has to be the goals against differential.
Yeah, I mean, Ique definitely has allowed a few more goals here and there, but also the special teams battle. I mean, SAWO, you know, quite a bit better in the special teams than Ique so far, with the higher power play percentage, obviously the better penalty kill. But yeah, SAWO kind of hanging on by the skin of their teeth when it comes to their goals for, goals against ratio, just 1 goal separating it. But they do have that positive record, so we're going to want to see here if against a team like Ique, they can continue that trend and pick up a couple wins here.
So with that, we'll take a look at the team lineups here today. For SAWO, we have Oegelson, Chrysotus, and EA Bunka up top. Talonmies with the Kunku on defense. The captain, Mr. Nipsley, not in the lineup here today. Mehukati between the pipes as he's been all season long. On the flip side for IQ, it's the captain Jyp next to Lehtinen and Santari. Make, Axel, Nico on defense. Pirtsa between the pipes. This lineup has played all 22 games so far for them this season, and we'll start off with the center matchup as we always do. Lehtinen and Chrysitus, and Sin, two players that can certainly put up points.
Definitely, and this is essentially as close as it gets between the pair of them point scoring wise, given the games played. I mean, Lehtinen obviously very good, kind of more on that goal scoring side, whereas Chrysitus, getting more onto the assist column. But yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at this and I'm trying to find like a huge differential between these two, the faceoffs are almost identical. I mean, Lehtinen hits a bit more, takes a few more shots, but that's kind of it. So I'll be really kind of, interested to see which of these centers is going to help to give their team that possession edge.
No defined advantage there, but what about on the wings? As for SAWO, again, Wiegelson and EA Bunka on the flip side, Jyp and Santari, and Sin has to be the standout here for me. I mean, just 3 more goals for Jyp and Santari combined over what EA Bunka has done so far with those 25 goals in 18 games.
Yeah, he is. That's good enough for 6th in the entire ECL Elite. So he is one of the top goal scorers throughout this division. So it kind of almost be, you got to think it'd be almost a travesty if this team doesn't battle their way into a playoff position with how good he's been at putting that puck in the net as well. 38 points leading his team, 66 shots leading his team, also leading his team in hits with 48. EA Bunka is that, kind of game changer out there for SAWO.
The defensive battle here as well. Talonmies and again, Okonkwo making his season debut. Make, Axel, and Nico on the flip side. Sin, the 3 out of the 4 players that have played this season, they can put up points from the blue line. Okonkwo as well, he can do it as a forward, as we know, but in terms of playing defense, haven't seen it in a while.
No, yeah, I mean, he played ECL 11 with SAWO on that left wing side. So, obviously a pretty flexible player now. He's slotting in at right D, different side of the ice, and on the back end too. That's not really an easy transition if you're used to one thing. So keep an eye on how he handles it. But yeah, I got to like the production from Make, Axel, and Nico. Make, Axel still looking for that first goal of the season with only 8 games remaining. So I bet he's hoping to get that monkey off his back. But yeah, I really like what Nico's doing. I mean, he's 9th in scoring for defensemen there, so definitely look for him to be a difference maker back on the point.
Last but not least, the goaltending matchup that we have for you here in this particular matchup. Mehukati and Pirtsa, 2 goaltenders in, not horrible save percentages as we've discussed. We look for those top goaltenders to be able to target the 80% or higher in terms of a save percentage. Both goaltenders solid and a good opportunity here to, pick up some points for their teams.
Definitely. And Pirtsa's, since the beginning of the year, he kind of had that a lower, almost like hovering around 70 save percentage. So it's been good to see him sort of getting back into form and kind of getting a bit more rewarded for his positioning. I remember a lot of times, sometimes at the beginning of the season, things were hitting him and still going in. So good to see him being rewarded for his positioning there. And he's actually moved into the top 10 of save percentage as well as it stands. So, both these goalies definitely capable here. So I think it'll really come down to who's going to make the key saves at those key times.
So again, puck drop just a few moments away here in the first game of 2 between these 2 clubs. And again, later on, Philadelphia takes on Jyväskylä. But Sim, before we get to puck drop, as we always do, we'll take a look at the keys to success here for these 2 teams. We will start off with SAWO and what they need to look to do here today. Sin, what stands out?
Well, first and foremost, we mentioned it a little bit. No Nipsey. He's the captain, and he's going to be out for these 2 games. And Okonkwo is going to be slotting in for the first time. So kind of an interesting way to debut. In this kind of matchup, we talked about the 8th and 9th seeds sort of squaring off. This is a huge matchup. So SAWO's going to have to find a way to do it without their captain. The second point here, goal scoring machine. I mean, EA Bunka has scored more goals than all of his teammates combined. I mean, that's absolutely huge. Getting him the puck is a wonderful idea, but they're going to have to be careful. if they become too predictable in trying to feed EA Bunker, that will be easier to shut down for IQ. And the third and final point here is special teams. Giants, the third best power play and the fourth best penalty kill. That is a recipe for success if you're trying to work your way into the playoffs. IQ is going to have to stay out of the box, stay disciplined here, especially when SAWO, they rarely are taking penalties themselves.
So you mentioned the keys here for IQ. We'll take a look at those as well. Might just direct these over to you as well here. What do you think stands out for IQ here heading into this matchup?
Well, they've done a pretty good job of keeping it clean so far. They're very physical, but also well-disciplined. And as we kind of touched on with SAWO, with as good as special teams they have, that will be key here in this matchup. I mean, they're going to want to keep the pressure onto SAWO, and that will mean staying out of the box. Quantity over quality is the second point here. They have almost 100 more registered shots on target than their opponents. Keeping that pressure up offensively will be very important. Keeping SAWO from being comfortable in their defensive end or establishing their attack in the offensive end will be a key to IQ picking up some huge points right here. And the third and final point, best defense is a good offense. With that shot total in mind, we saw that IQ have that negative 16 goal differential. Their path to success seems to be clear as day. Stay out of your zone as much as you can, and hopefully keep SAWO from getting those odd man opportunities back your way as well.
I mean, definitely a little bit cliched to say, but it is pretty simple for them, I would say. You know what your biggest weakness has been. It's been goaltending, or, not necessarily goaltending, but the defense, especially this season. Try to limit those chances as much as you can. You're a team that can force the issue and get that forechecking pressure going. So, again, everybody, we are just a few moments away from puck drop here in the first game of two between these two teams. Of course, ECL Elite Division action brought to you by our lovely sponsors at Wilhelm, Kovalon Lakritzy, and Viaplay. And, of course, you can check out everything in relation to the NHL Gamer brand, NHLGamer.com, for all the information that you need. Of course, not just the Elite Division, but our other tiers as well, in Pro, Light, Core, and Neo. The Anaheim Ducks gaming tournament that's still going on as well. You can get all the information there for that as the playoffs are in full effect. We'll take a look here, Sin, at the latest results as well from around the league. Obviously, we got to look at the standings a little bit earlier on here. And in terms of what stands out, you talk about form, run of form heading into a postseason situation. You look at the recent results for someone like YMCA Esports, who have been just on fire as of late, determined essentially to prove us wrong in particular, and all of those behind the scenes that helped take part in the preseason polls, of course. But you have Jyväskylä getting 3 out of 4 points in their last few games. They're trying to get some momentum to work their way back into the playoffs before that matchup with Philadelphia as well. We have said all season long, expect the unexpected, and indeed, even these most recent results kind of lend credence towards that, where you get a blowout here, a 6-0 win for Havu. They only won 1-0 the game before, so you just really never know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, I mean, you touched on the Jyväskylä Poggers matchup. That was huge for both of them. Both of them securing those 3 out of 4 points. I mean, Jyväskylä obviously trying to work their way back into the playoff spot. It's going to be an uphill battle since then. But Poggers, trying to secure their spot, getting 3 out of 4 points is absolutely massive.
So we shall see how this plays out here. Again, just waiting for the teams to be able to match up before we can kick things off. Now, Sten, in terms of other talking points as well, and here, we'll throw back to the standings here just to be able to get people that little bit of info. Again, remember, it is a 30-game regular season. As, a bit of a discrepancy with some teams, as few as 18 games, as many as 24 played. But that left-hand side of the bracket is where you want to be. And again, right now, a little bit tough to say how exactly it's going to play out because of those differentials in terms of the points. And, you look at that pace. SAWO, technically the only team right now on the outside looking in that off of point percentage would be ahead of IQ. Otherwise, everyone else is relatively secure in that, in those current places. It's tough to see that changing necessarily, as, again, that right-hand side as well. You talk about 13th or 15, potential relegation battles, 16th automatically dropped ZSC just 2 points above Rusty Blades at this point. So much to look forward to here as we head towards the back half of the regular season. But Sim, with that, the teams have matched up. We are just about ready to go here again for the first game of 2. It is IQ taking on SAWO Esports. Sin, how do you think this one's going to go? These two teams are pretty evenly matched.
They are extremely evenly matched, and I just want to make, the one thing I was looking at, when IQ has those 22 games played versus SAWO, the 18, so you might think that is a little thing, but IQ's got to feel maybe a bit more desperation being on the tail end of that bracket with fewer games played. SAWO's got to make sure that they kind of match their level of determination to win these games, because if they come out kind of slow out of the gates and IQ gets that momentum established early, they're not going to want to let go of it. They want to be in these playoffs. We've been talking about that all season, so we'll see from puck drop sort of how SAWO was able to sort of handle the aggression and just kind of determination that I think is going to come out from IQ here.
Big factor as well. IQ 5 overtime losses to SAWO 0. Most Montreal Canadiens-esque in terms of being able to sneak into the playoffs. Let's see what IQ are able to do. Of course, it's SAWO in the yellow here. IQ the home squad for this one. Keep an eye out as well for the gold helmets, if you could tell the difference. That was a good chance there. Nearly sneaking in was Talonese, the defender. So IQ tried to bring it back down the other way. Leitinen has it, tried to throw a slap shot onto the traffic, couldn't find its way to the netminder. Again, those gold helmets, the signifier of the team's top goal scorer. Might be a little bit more difficult to tell for SAWO, though, of course. Let's see what IQ is able to do here on this breakout. They found a bit of space last time, and they found space again. Still fighting for it here. Santari just not able to hold on to that one, but a good bit of pressure there on the defense. The self-saucer speed holds up at the line. Good play there. Cutting back, it's Talonese pinching into the zone. Now cutting in, and a big save there by Pierza. Confident play from Talonese. You can see Chrysitis willing to drop back, help out his team defensively as well. It's IQ back in the attacking zone now. At the point, let's see what Nico could do. Threw one on, and it's Mehukati who's able to come up with the stop.
Yeah, good save right there, and good job to cover it up. But yeah, you said it, Ptolemy's, that was just tremendous play down low, sort of baited that he had the pass behind the net, maybe even a one-timer out front, then pulled it forehand and shot on that short side. Pierza had to be sharp on that one.
Jyp has it down low here for IQ. Great patience, goes back to the point. Now it's Make Axel pinching in. Tried to get it in front there to Santari, not able to feed one through. Jyp still fighting for it. Losing it through the traffic. Wraparound bid for Leitinen. Nearly went on the far side. Good positioning from the defense to take away any secondary opportunities. See again what SAWO can do going down the other way. Here's Wiegels. Goes back to Talonese. Has been very involved in the offense so far. Still has it here. Tried to go across, but a better read from Jyp to take it away. It's IQ in on the attack. They have space. Shot scores! Santari picks the corner. IQ strike first, 1-0 there, and Sin just a bit too much space given to a dangerous goal scorer, the team leader. It's his 19th of the year.
Yeah, that was a good counter attack, but it really started in the defensive zone with the team defense of IQ. I loved it. They didn't over collapse. Oftentimes you'll see team really kind of collapse to protect that slot, but they didn't. Therefore, that cross ice pass had no room to get through. It was picked off. IQ transitioned the other way with numbers. We're able to get that bit of space, and Santari picks the corner. 1-0 IQ.
A great start for them. Let's see how SAWO respond as that one's picked off. The pass attempted in the middle. Jyp has it knocked loose at the last moment. SAWO back in control.
For the boys, buddy.
Huge hit there by Jyp, the team leader in hits, 4th in the league. 120 registered hits in 22 games entering play today, so keep an eye out again for that physicality. As mentioned, IQ, one of the most physical teams in the league. Back in control here, trying to gain the zone. Good shutdown defense from Okonkwo again, filling in for SAWO team captain Mr. Nipsely, missing action for the first time this season as that passes off the mark, and it will go all the way down for icing.
Yeah, definitely, and it's good to mention that I haven't really noticed anything out of place back there for the SAWO defense. I mean, that rush play just, a bit hard to defend as the defenseman. They do have to back up and respect those passes, but yeah, he's looked pretty good so far.
SAWO back in control here. Good work here from the defenders. Bunka down low. Nowhere to go there for Bunka. Again, team leading goal scorer for SAWO. Keep Keep an eye out for that green icon as he's able to feed Wiegelson. Let's see what SAWO can do going back down the other way now. Still have a bit of speed. Back to Talon. Me is knocked loose. Recovered, though, by the defender only for the moment. Leitinen, who was able to take that one away before turning it right back over. So, a little bit of hot potato here as we approach the final few minutes, or in the final few minutes of this first period. What a pass. Good chance for Wiegelson. Couldn't get that shot off on the backhand. Still has possession here down low, taking his time. Finds its way to the centerman here. Chrysitis back down for Wiegelson. Chrysitis again able to recover. Okonkwo with the points. Got to be careful. Good movement here, but can they find the shooting lane? The answer is no. Talonme stripped of the puck. Here goes Jyp down the other way. Here in the final minute. Good protection. Pass over to the center and a big stop by Mehukati. One more rush opportunity here for SAWO. 8 seconds to play here in the first, but they mistime it at the line.
Yeah, it seems like IQ is being very careful. They don't want SAWO to get those passes back to the point. So when SAWO was working it down low, I was, crediting them. That's very good adjustment. There's a bit more space down low, so they're kind of working it in that area and looking for a shooting lane, but they, couldn't quite find it. The second they kicked it back to the point, though, IQ were jumping on it. They almost created that odd man. So that's something that we definitely need to look to for the rest of this two-game set, that IQ really seems to want to pounce on those chances, not let SAWO establish any kind of trap on the blue line. They want those odd mans coming back the other way. They, I don't know, call it, game planning, call it maybe a targeted strategy against this SAWO squad. But so far, so good for IQ as they take that 1-0 lead. And you can see there why that space sort of opened up. Everyone from SAWO struggling to get back on the back check, and Santini just kind of all alone right there with enough time and space to rip that one home. So second period about to get under the way. We'll see if SAWO is able to make a couple more adjustments there to prevent that from happening.
And on the attack here to start things off. Let's see if they can find the back of the net as a backhand just wide from Wiegelson. Bit of a magician there as Pirza glitching himself through the post to be able to cover that one.
Absolutely. I mean, there's magic. We always say there's got to be magic here, and the goaltenders sometimes have that much more than everyone else.
Off the draw, IQ in possession, trying to lead things down the other way. Jyp loses it on the spin. Shot deflected there. Great chance. Still trying to shovel that one home. Was Santeri just not able to find a way through it. It is a delayed call here, though, on IQ. So SAWO will go to the power play. Sin, this was one of our keys. IQ needed to be careful because SAWO's been deadly on the man advantage so far this year.
Yep, 32% on the power play for SAWO, just over 69% penalty killing for IQ. So we'll see how they handle it. Good face-off win with the tie-up. And that was Make Axel coming in, just getting that easy clear. So SAWO going to have to work themselves back. Interesting drop pass there.
Caught his own teammate off guard. Let's see what they can do here. Gaining the zone. Chance for EA Bunka now to maybe work with that little bit of extra space. Has it. Tried the short side, but it was knocked loose. Puck thrown off the back of the net. Still in possession here for SAWO. Wiegelson to Okonkwo at the point. Looking now. Talonme's tried the feed down low. We'll hold it in at the point. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Okonkwo, nice block there by Leitinen. Lockax is still fighting for it down low. Kenny clear, able to get the pass up to his centerman. Leitinen, they might be able to make something happen here. But he's held up at the line. He'll kill the time. So we are back to 5-on-5. A couple of good looks for SAWO, but nothing overly threatening on that man advantage. Crucial kill for IQ. That one was apparently going to be timed well at the line. Very, very close. Here's EA Bunko one more time. Knocked loose by Make Axel. Giving arguably the most dangerous forward on SAWO. A lot of trouble here through the early stages of the action today. As here's Jyp. That pass intercepted well. Okonkwo again filling in, and Sin mentioned hasn't exactly looked out of place. Strong performance defensively so far, barring the one mistake, which again, more of a team mistake, I think you could argue, than an individual mistake. SAWO trying to ramp up that attacking pressure. IQ able to fend it off for the moment with some smart passes. Bunka, though, off the interception, trying to make something happen here for SAWO. Not even halfway through this game, but the longer it goes without them scoring a goal, the more confident IQ should be. As they try the quick outlet, that was a great read by Talonme's to get in front of that one. SAWO right back in on the attack. Delayed call. Loose puck in front was touched up. It'll be another power play for SAWO here, Sid.
Yeah, another chance for them to flex their muscles here. They want to get a little bit better possession. You said it. They got a couple chances, but nothing too dangerous. So we'll see what they do here.
Telling me is ill-advised pass and easy clearance for IQ. And 0 for 1 on the power play are SAWO in this game so far. Here's Talonmees into the attacking zone. Good quick movement again. Wiegelson having trouble though. And the puck again cleared out, held in at the neutral zone. SAWO going to try to get back in on the attack, but another off pass. Clearance broken up. Second attempt was successful. Jyp has Leiten and looks to cut in and drove right to the net. Just not able to find it. 30 seconds to go here on the SAWO power play. Uncharacteristically struggling on said power play. Talonmees over for Bunka. Big stop there by Pierce of their best chance. We're back to 5-on-5. Here's Chrysitis again, dropped back to Talonmees. Akunku tried to go to Bunka, it was off the mark. Make Axel handles it well. IQ trying to bring it back down the other way. Good feed to Santari in front, and a big glove stop by Mehukati on the chance from Leiten.
Yeah, SAWO, this counterattack of IQ, it just looks really dangerous. Even when they don't have numbers, they're able to create a little bit of space, thread those passes through, and you know, as the longer this game goes on, you said it looks better and better for IQ. Although they haven't kind of extended that lead, SAWO, you know, they're seeming to be sort of struggling to establish what they want to do in the offensive zone, and the counterattack from IQ, as we mentioned, has just looked really good.
Talk about the quality over quantity debate here between these two teams. IQ is the more willing to throw pucks on net from the looks of it. Paid off so far. Big step up hit by Jyp. Leiten able to hold this one in. On half wall in front. Great pinch there by Nico. Just ran out of space. So we have 3.5 minutes to play here and an offside call against SAWO.
Yeah, so, I mean, SAWO seeming to get a bit more desperate there as they try to enter the zone. But IQ, despite, you know, sending guys forward on the rush, extra men, I was on Nico pinching in down low, the lowest man in the zone, they're still able to get back and sort of hold that blue line to great effect. So, yeah, I'm kind of wondering how SAWO is going to try to break this, break the form that IQ is displaying right now.
That pass is off the mark. No icing here, though, but 2 minutes to play. IQ back in possession. Speed going down the other way. Jyp has options. Finds its way down to Santari, the goal scorer in this one so far. Not able to hold on to it through the pressure. Kept in for the moment by IQ, but right back in control now. SAWO going down the other way. 30 seconds to play. Here's Wiegelson looking, tried to drive to the net. It was broken up. Still fighting for it here, though. Bunka has it. That one knocked loose. 4 seconds now. Akunku throws one on. Deflected. Second chance. Third chance even. But no dice. IQ will carry that 1-0 lead into the third period. And Sin, if I'm not mistaken, 3-1 have been the shot totals here through the first 2 periods.
Yep, I believe you're right on that. And SAWO, I mean, they've had a couple power plays. They're looking for a chance, but they're not quite getting it. You know, one of their best chances was on that shot in that period when they fed EA Bunka on the one-timer in that power play. Other than that, again, hasn't been exceptionally dangerous. I like kind of what they were doing right there, throwing the puck on net and looking for deflections, looking for possible rebounds, but just didn't kind of come to fruition.
Here we go, third period underway. Again, the first game of 2 between these two clubs. Philadelphia and Jyväskylä going head-to-head a little bit later on in this broadcast. Now we focus here on this very important matchup. These two teams trying to get that last spot as Leiten just not able to get a shot off there. Turnover here, though, by Talonmees. Jyp was able to intercept, still trying to hold on to it. Maintains possession, but couldn't stay in the attacking zone. A close call there. Leiten able to hold this one as well. Let's see what IQ are able to do here. Back in the attacking zone. Jyp able to sauce it down into the corner. Another loose puck corralled by Make Axel at the point. Drops back for Leiten. Tried to go up to Nico. Just not enough space there. Good defense by Wiegelson. And another offside here from SAWO. An uncharacteristic performance.
Definitely, you know, they had to kind of stop there, and EA Bunka was streaking up the middle. The pass didn't come as he was trying to, you know, angle the stick to maybe gain that line on its own. But yeah, I mean, SAWO, as this goes on, they're looking kind of increasingly a little bit flustered here as they've been hard pressed to sort of break the defensive wall that is IQ right now.
Back in the attacking zone there, quickly intercepted. What can SAWO do? They lose it off the spin. Nowhere for Okonkwo to go. Good move there from Weagleson, able to find his centerman. Actually, again, that's Okonkwo pinching up. We've seen that quite a bit with Chrysitis. Dropping back on defense, unless I'm mistaken, and there are 2 number 8s. That shot from the point is denied. Another big stop by Pirza.
And I like to see that shot coming out from SAWO, as they've, obviously been struggling to put the puck on net. Do it quickly before, IQ's able to establish themselves and get in those shooting lanes. And no rebound occurred right there. But again, I like the mentality. That could have been a deflection up front. That could have been a rebound. I think SAWO's going to have to do this more as this period sort of wears on. They're only down by 1 still. All they need is that favorable bounce.
12 minutes to play here as well. Bunka can't put that one through. That corner was open. Crucial block there from Nico. Able to gain the zone. Only for the moment, though. Leitinen has it knocked loose. I mean, SAWO doing a good job of shutting down the IQ attack, but struggling to get these chances. Stepping in and a glove stop by Pirza. His biggest save yet. Sin, that's the issue. Even if you find the space, Pirza, tough goaltender to beat.
Definitely, and he's making some good saves, but now that SAWO's starting to test him more, they're really going to have to kind of put him to the test, so to speak. The pass out front just doesn't find a target.
Talonmies again pinching in around the back to Bunka, taking the hit there from Ique. Great defensive performance from him. At the point, this one knocked loose and going back down the other way, recovered. Ique back in control here. Jyp again looking for that deflection, just not able to put it through. 8 minutes to play now, and another turnover there. Talonmies is just not able to find those breakout passes consistently. Jyp has it here for IQ, down low. Leitinen with options. Goes to Ique. Back down to the centerman now. It's knocked loose. Good defense there by Okonkwo. See what they can do going down the other way. Space for EA Bunka. He cuts back, and again pinches in. Talonmies just couldn't get that shot off. Another dangerous look. One-on-one here. Okonkwo against Jyp. He gets the pass in front, but no follow-up shot there. It was knocked loose. 5 minutes to play now. Still a 1-0 scoreline. Never would have expected that between these two teams, but here we are. Can SAWO find the goal? Bunka's one-timer was broken up. It's IQ back in possession here. Jyp. It's been a threat all game long to find that counter-attacking space. Ique pinching in. Puck loose on net. Recovered by SAWO once more. 3 minutes now. That time ticking down. That pass on the mark. Okonkwo, it's intercepted. 2-on-1 developing here. Weagleson back for his team. Handles Santari pretty well, but still Leitinen controlling it. That pass off the mark. 1.5 minutes now. Can SAWO find this goal? That one down and around the back. Here comes the pinch from Okonkwo. Helps out the defense. I think indeed we do have 2 number 8s between the centerman and the right D, so if we miscall anything, well, hey, you know why. Maybe some trickery on their part, Sin, as this puck goes out of play with 47 seconds to go in regulation. Again, SAWO running out of time.
Yeah, and speaking of time, their time on attack, I mean, pretty massive considering they only have those 4 registered shots. That's something that I think they're going to want to address here in the second game, regardless of the outcome of this one. I mean, to not do anything with the amount of time on attack that they have, it's kind of not a winning strategy. I mean, credit to IQ for blocking shots as they have, but at the same front, I mean, we've seen SAWO just kind of, sort of not taking what's given to them, like looking for something in particular that IQ has so far been able to shut down. So if you're SAWO, I think you got to get out of the gates a bit stronger by just taking the shots given to you in this next game, because those 4 registered shots with over 8 minutes time on attack is simply not good enough.
40 seconds to work with here for SAWO as they hold this one in the attacking zone. Okonkwo able to find the feed in front. Bunka couldn't get the shot off. Puck over the top of the net there. It deflected. Attempt to pass from Talonmies. Here's the Bunka. Now Okonkwo keeping it in. Chance for Chrysitis. Just couldn't pick the corner. 20 seconds to play. Weagleson can't get that shot off. IQ going down the other way. Trying to kill the clock. Leitinen throws it on. Mahukati will play it out. He's going to head to the bench. 10 seconds here for SAWO to try and make something happen. Weagleson trying to step in. IQ recover and clear, and that will do it. A rare, somewhat rare, 1-0 scoreline as IQ able to hold off SAWO here, crucially at that, as SAWO can't take advantage of one of the games at hand that they have, and it's Pirza walking away with his third shutout of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely huge for Ique, who, as we mentioned in that pregame, do not have the best goals against. I mean, 2.77 per game. Well, they just got a shutout right there. And, while their goals for hasn't been extremely massive either, just, 2.05 per game, it's to win that game is absolutely huge. At this point, you can, if you're Ique and where the point they are in the season, you can kind of just throw those out the window at this point. It's like take points however you can get them and sort of address some of the other things when it comes to if you make it into those playoffs. But wins are everything right now, and to keep SAWO completely off the point sheet, we talked about it. Every single one of these games, essentially a 4-point swing, and Ique just picked up 2 huge ones right there.
Absolutely. So again, a huge turn of events there for Ique, puts all the more pressure on SAWO heading into that second matchup here that we will have for you in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that kind of pregame setup here, though, quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, so again, a big thank you from our sponsors here for helping make this season what it is. Sin, as we head into the second matchup here, it's tough to say what exactly the keys are without being a little bit too obvious, I would say. I mean, for SAWO, looking at what they have to do defensively, for the most part, they were solid. It was just one big breakdown on defense that led to that game-winning goal for Ique. So just a matter of, cleaning up the passes, pulling off more shots. What's it going to take for them here to find that breakthrough? I mean, obviously, I don't think either of us can imagine them being shut out again, but maybe the commentator's curse is back on.
Yeah, if you're SAWO, I mean, really, I think it's that registered shots that's the biggest thing right there. I mean, they, kind of easy for us to say and easy for every single crowd around the world to say shoot, especially on that power play. But honestly, I really think that's kind of what killed SAWO right there is, every time they sort of overpassed, Ique jumped on it. Every time SAWO had an idea of what they were going to do before kind of seemingly looking at the, defensive presence of Ique, they passed it into them. And that's what created that solo goal for Ique. So defensively, SAWO didn't have a bad game, but despite that one breakdown, they were pretty solid. They kept Ique from establishing too much attack. They out-attacked, they had more time in attack than them. It's just, that one mistake. And when you don't score any goals yourself, you're not going to win any game scoring 0 goals.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, all things considered here. For Ique, at the end of the day, strong defensive performance, especially from ECL on that left-hand side, having to deal with EA Bunka. Pirza making some strong stops. More of the same from them, I would imagine, obviously just hoping to find that extra goal or two.
Definitely. And, I really like their staggered sort of presence in that defensive end, not immediately collapsing, playing a tight point when they needed to, almost predicting when SAWO was going to go back to that point and when they would want to. Obviously trying to get Akunku involved as he is, forward, definitely offensively capable. So maybe also that's why Ique was a bit aggressive on those points. They're kind of hoping to test Akunku to okay, this guy doesn't normally play D. If we apply some pressure to him, will we be able to throw him off this game? Will we be able to sort of exploit that on that back end? And it's hard to say if they really did that with just that 1-0 victory, but I think we're going to see a bit more of the same from Ique. And if you're SAWO, adjustments are going to have to be made.
Again, as you see on your screen there, our second matchup will be coming up upon the conclusion of this one. Jyväskylä taking on our defending champions in Philadelphia. So make sure you stick around for that. But we have some business to attend to. Ique and SAWO, again, still some crucial points up for grabs in this one. We talked about it. SAWO, I believe it was 4 games at hand heading into play today. If Ique can take all 4 points and leave SAWO with nothing, that drastically increases their chances of making the playoffs here in their first season. in Elite. Of course, IQ, formerly known as Enigma, winning automatic promotion for being the champions of our pro division last year. So it would be a huge accomplishment as well to make the playoffs in the same season. I mean, again, Sin, we might even see Goons do that as well. It could be the first time in a long time that multiple newly promoted clubs end up making the postseason incredibly difficult to do. As Santari tries to chase this one down, he has the only goal in this broadcast so far, I guess is the way to put it. But here comes SAWO down the other way. Chrysitis, that feed. Rokunku a little bit off the mark. It's a story that we've had to cover throughout the majority of this. That puck chop on net. What an attempt from Jyp. That was a very dangerous rebound there. Mehukati almost not able to handle that one. One thing I like about Jyp, a very creative player, is this puck covered by Okonkwo here. Excuse me, that again, the same numbers. What's going on with that, boys? It was Chrysitis at the time. Chance here down the other way, knocked loose at the last moment. And IQ strong in defense so far here tonight. Something they have struggled with for the majority of this season, but not so much here in this game so far, and of course the game prior. SAWO, though, in on the attack. Chrysitis weaving around, can't find the play in front. Gotta look to try something else here. IQ shutting down the slot, the space in front. That pass, and it's kicked in, but being waved off. We'll get a look at this one, Sin, to see if it'll count.
Yeah, probably looking for interference. That's a lot of contact right there. So I'm guessing, yeah, it is called off right there. Too much contact in front of the net for IQ. But again, I kind of like it, just sort of driving the net, throwing pucks on. Something that, we may like to see SAWO doing a bit more. Almost a stretch pass to Wiegelson, who had split the D there, but just offside. Just maybe a step offside.
Incredibly close for SAWO, a break that they needed. I mean, talk about this. How important is that first goal of this game, especially if it goes to IQ? What type of pressure that puts on SAWO? IQ back in the attacking zone. Leitinen trying to hold on to this one. Still fighting for the puck. Jyp steps in and he scores! On the backhand, the captain finds the opening goal of the game. And Sin, the commentator's curse continues as IQ, pretty much on demand, get the opening goal.
Yeah, I mean, just tremendous effort from Jyp, but really tremendous effort from the entire front three of IQ on that forecheck. That's just a gritty goal that they're able to come up with. I mean, pretty simple. Once they recover that puck, pucks and bodies to net. Okonkwo maybe caught overcommitting a little bit to try to shut that down, but that being said, it was an excellent job, as we mentioned, by all three, but especially Jyp, sort of to weave his way towards the net, then on the backhand, tuck it home. 1-0 IQ. Familiar territory.
Jyp's 11th of the season. Now up to at least 30. Well, don't recall if he got an assist. I believe he did, so perhaps 31 now on the season. We'll see again how SAWO are able to respond. They never found the counterattack. Had counterattacking blow in that prior game as Pirza makes a good stop once more. Said that quite a few times. That one deflects just wide. See there, it's Bunka squaring up in front. Chance poked away. Still fought on for. IQ able to recover. Nowhere for Jyp to go. Right back in on the attack is SAWO. Chrysitis goes to Talonmies, but he can't hold the line. Possession extremely important here, and IQ have it. Here's Jyp. Santari not able to weave his way past the dual defensive threat there. We're down the other way. Wiegelson can't cut in, and we have an offsides with 6:09 to play.
Yeah, and something that I got to point out here that I'm not too sure if it was this in the last game or I just perhaps didn't notice it. Okonkwo playing right-handed there on that right side. So they got two right-handed shots on the defense right there as we see Jyp coming in.
And tried to go backhand once more. It was knocked loose at the last second. Sin, that's a good point. I mean, the differences that are there, obviously everyone prefers, for the most part, to have that one-time threat. Can help out a bit defensively and with the breakouts, though. To have that handedness set up that way. So it really does depend on what you, I guess, personally prefer as a player and as a team. But yeah, indeed, perhaps limiting some of the offensive looks here. It's Wiegelson not able to rush his way past the defense. There'll be Santori down that right-hand side, shut down by Talon Mies, but held in by Nico, who just missed that corner. SAWO back in control here. 3 minutes to go now in the first period. The opening goal of this one scored by Jyp of IQ. Good poke check there. Will force IQ to reset. We've seen 2 goals so far through nearly 4 periods. Wiegelson trying to change that. Sauces one on. Pirza kicks it out. And again, it's IQ trying to go back down the other way. Big hit by Jyp, but it's SAWO still in control. Final minute here now, as Bunka can't throw that one on. This pass will go just wide of the net. No icing, surprisingly. Final possession here for SAWO. 6 seconds to work with. They gain the line. Chrysitis looking. Can't get that one on target. EA Bunka as well. Mauled by 4 IQ players. Bring us to the end of the first.
Yeah, so I mean, IQ again getting that opening goal marker, and what I kind of like for them is they're keeping it pretty simple. If they gain that line, they're like, okay, we're going to get a chance out of this possession. It might not be the greatest chance, but we're going to throw that puck on net. We're going to try something. You can't really say the same for SAWO right now. It's like they're looking for, something extremely specific with the high quality. Okay, we're seeing there now what I thought was maybe an overcommitment from Akunku there as he moved forward. And he was actually got caught in the most frustrating animation that you can get is that kind of, that pickup animation where you slide to the left as a player right there. So tough look for Akunku there, and that kind of led to that Jyp goal. But again, I mean, for SAWO here, you got to just start getting chances on net, even if they're not high quality.
Just able to get it back to Talon Mies. Wiegelson again trying to look in front. It's just not going. And the smart play there to clear that one out. There will be an icing call, perhaps, as Akunku nearly got caught coasting.
Yeah, and the IQ skater coming, I'm not too sure who that was. Didn't catch the color.
Jyp.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Just an absolutely hungry force out there.
Never quits on the play. Loose puck, backhand scores! Finally, the idea of driving to the slot pays off. Wiegelson has the first goal of the night for SAWO. His 9th of the year, and soon we have ourselves a tie game.
Yep, and really, really good play right there from SAWO. Looks like he actually attempted the pass first, and it came back to him, and he just shovels it towards the net, gets rewarded. Oh, no, excuse me. He actually, he was the one to pick that one up off of perhaps an attempted pass or poked loose right there from Chrysitis. But just good job from SAWO there, driving the net. All 3 guys collapsing around the net, and it pays off for him. Tie game.
So SAWO finally able to find that breakthrough. Another chance here. Wiegelson tried to drop back. Always interesting to see how many clear shooting lanes aren't taken advantage of is the only thing I can think to say there. As IQ have it, Make Axel goes back to Jyp, can't get that pass off. SAWO will recover. Down the other way, Talon Mies again leading the charge. Pass in front is Bunka again. Not been able to find the space that he's accustomed to finding. And more goals than anybody else in this particular matchup here today. 25 on the season. Andre at 19, the closest. There, not able to weave his way through. SAWO back in possession. Not for long. And a trip is called there. Leitinen goes down. IQ to the power play for the first time tonight.
And great job by them positioning themselves properly on the defensive end. They're going to get rewarded with the penalty draw here. We'll see what they could do on this power play. They do have the 25% on the season, but unable to get possession right there.
IQ back in on the attack here. Plenty of time to work with on this man advantage. Pass in front. Good stick lift there by Talon Mies. It'll be sent all the way down by Wiegelson. A minute to go on the man advantage here. 12 minutes remaining in the second. Have ourselves a tie game here now. Leitinen looking. Nowhere to go. And again, sent down by SAWO. Sim, we know they have a great penalty kill. We haven't seen it all that much this season. They're a very disciplined team, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's looked extremely good. I mean, really kind of just shutting it down before IQ's able to establish themselves.
Power poke check by Wiegelson. Puck still in a dangerous area. It's sent out. They're going to have space. Chrysitis in alone. He scores on the backhand. Yes, when you think you've seen a picture-perfect penalty kill, they show you what a picture-perfect penalty kill looks like. Chrysitis gets the goal for SAWO. They have their first lead of the night.
Perfect timing right there. Out of the box, the slap pass, a perfect angle to kick out to him, and Pirtsa had to respect that forehand cut across the net. Chrysitis goes to the backhand and buries it. SAWO have taken their first lead of this 2-game set.
Chrysitis' 9th of the season. All 3 forwards closing in on double digits here. Santeri down the other way, stopped by Mehukati. Maybe might have just missed wide. Tough call. But regardless, a huge chance for IQ to tie this one up. And they're not able to capitalize. SAWO back in control here. Only for the moment. This will go down for icing and a good chance off the draw, perhaps, for IQ to make something happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was going to say, we'll see how they respond to being down in this game. Well, they got Santeri behind the defense right there, so they don't look too out of place here, as they've been sort of playing with a good level of aggression and seemingly desperation, as we mentioned, with them having those extra games in hand and just being on the edge of the playoffs. You know, they know how important these points are. They have 2 so far, but find themselves down by 1 goal here late in the second period. Still time left, but they're not going to want to leave anything up to chance. They're going to keep pouring pucks on net, I think.
IQ back in the attacking zone. The Epi in front, they score! Santeri able to find that one, the team's leading scorer, and you can see why. His team leading 20th goal of the year, and Sin, we are tied at 2.
Just simple hockey that we've seen coming out from IQ, either, you know, going on the counterattacks, finding a shot and taking it, or driving the net. Excellent job from Niepi. The L skating to protect the puck, and then is able to kind of turn, have the gap to send it to Santeri, who has it in front, goes for that far side and buries it. Tie game. IQ, looking for that sauce up the middle right there too. Lightning as well. I like it. Keeping the pressure on right off the faceoff, trying to catch SAWO napping here. IQ, they're making some 200 IQ plays out there.
And much more a back and forth game here this time out. It's under 6 minutes to play. Massive face-off advantage for SAWO, now 12-4. After that win from Chrysitis. Trouble down low. Wiegelson fighting for it. IQ will hold on. Nico, though, can't get the outlet. At least not on that first attempt. Leitonen, the big move to get into space. Tried to hold up, though, and that space quickly disappeared. Big stretch pass again. Chrysitis, Wiegelson, 3rd time, 4th time's the charm, perhaps, and still no. SAWO just couldn't maintain control. They do have it back here, though, shutting down IQ at their own blue line. Pass in front. Great chance there for Bonka. Still shockingly held off the scoreboard in this one. A big stretch pass. Santeri has space, but a great poke check there by Okonku.
Are you going to cry ice tilt now,
Huge
bud?
hip check there to take him down. SAWO trying to get going down the other way now. Here's Wiegelson down that right-hand side of your screen. Again, just trying to brute force his way to the net. Couldn't get control back. Leitonen's pass off the mark. IQ in possession for the moment. Turned over, though. Wiegelson to Chrysitis. The move, nowhere to go. 5 seconds to play here for SAWO. Can they get a shot off? Talon is one-timer. What a stop by Pirtsa, nearly at the buzzer. And remember that one. Incredible tracking from the IQ netminders in to keep us tied at 2 heading into the 3rd.
That's a play where you could say a goaltender, if it goes in, that goaltender had no chance on it. What a read by Pirtsa to kind of understand that Chrysitis was there on the back door. The lane was there. That pass was quick. That was not a pass that kind of would give a goaltender a lot of time to establish it. It had to be anticipated by Pirtsa, and then he's got to make the save after that. Just picture perfect goaltending from the IQ netminder right there. That was incredibly impressive. And you said it. Remember that save right there, because that was absolutely massive to keep it tied at the end of the period.
So we'll see how it all plays out here heading down the stretch. Again, these two teams entering play today in 8th and 9th place, respectively. Incredible amount of points up for grabs here in this one. IQ getting that 1-0 victory in that first game for 2 crucial points. SAWO really can't afford to let another one of their games at hand go to waste. The Bonka can't pick the corner. It's Pirtsa again. Sin, we mentioned Pirtsa earlier this season. There were some big stops. ultimately, again, some unlucky goals, but an incredibly solid goaltender in the Elite Division.
Absolutely, and he's really showing it in this one. I mean, he's not giving up anything on that short side. Maybe there's a tiny bit of space on that last play when Bunka was letting him know about that, giving him a little, a couple bounces there for good measure. But overall, yeah, Pierce a really good goaltender.
There's Talon is now stepping in for SAWO. That pass across broken up. I think for Pirza as well, as this one goes down for icing, one of the better goaltenders in terms of angles and positioning. It's a goalie that you have to get moving laterally if you're going to be able to find that space. And some goaltenders, prefer that more crazy moving around style. Not so much for Pirza. So fundamentally solid there in his positioning as that one's knocked back. Kunku not able to hold on to it. SAWO, though, in possession. Good interception there by Jyp. Knocked loose, but he's able to recover. Pass in front. SAWO able to take that one away. Dangerous, of course. That's how IQ were able to tie this game. Teams have traded the lead here in this one. A big hit. IQ trying to get going down the other way. Santeri has a little bit of space. Stepping in. Knocked loose. Still throws it on. And Mehukati is able to make the stop.
Yeah, it was a very, very good job by Santeri there at the end, kind of else getting to try and angle the puck away from Kunku there, who had his defensive skill stick out, but he's able to knock it loose. And by the time the shot comes on, Mehukati in great position.
Jyp taking a tour of the attacking zone here. Back to the point, it's Ique. And again, once more. IQ looking for something specific. Puck on net, and Mehukati forced to cover.
Yeah, has to be sharp right now, as we know IQ loves to just kind of put the puck on net, even with, or just, drive the net in general. They're very kind of trying to bully their way towards the net throughout most of this series as well. So kind of not really changing. And that can be so difficult for a goaltender, but Mehukati, for the most part, has handled it pretty well.
IQ trying to gain the attacking zone. Nowhere to go as they cross the blue line. Same story for SAWO here. Both teams tightening up defensively. Jyp able to fight for that one, trying to spin through. The pass just doesn't go. So we approach the halfway point here of this third period. And our first series of 2 here tonight. Philadelphia, our defending champs, taking on Jyväskylä coming up a little bit after this concludes, as we have another offside call. 9:22 remaining. Just a matter of who's going to get that next goal. Surely it will stand up as the winner.
Yeah, it definitely has that feeling to it right now, but we've seen it. I mean, SAWO got that lead, and it's like, all right, how long are they going to be able to hold it? Well, IQ responded, pretty quickly with a chance and then a goal. Whoa.
As Bunka in front. Sin, he's got to be frustrated at this point. I mean, again, phenomenal goal scorer this season. It just hasn't happened tonight, but keep getting chances like that. It's bound to happen. Here's SAWO off the draw. Chrysitis tried to find him. I think the big part of the reason, if not the biggest reason you can point out for Bunka not being on the score sheet, Ique had a fantastic defensive night so far. In terms of shutting him down, we have 7 minutes to play now here in this third period. It's a chance for Bunka. Again, the one-timer's just not there, and you hate to be the stereotypical fan in the stands, but shoot the puck. You might be able to catch Pirza off guard instead of trying to get these forces to go through, because for the most part, they have been so consistently unsuccessful. That one thrown on. What a chance there. It's still held in by Leitinen. Back to the point. Ique deflection. Scores! Santeri able to just sneak that one through. He has another goal here tonight. A heartbreaker for SAWO as IQ take the lead with 4:31 to play.
You might hate to say it, but sometimes it rings true. Throw the puck on the net. Good things can happen. IQ shoot from the point, and Santeri cleans up the garbage in front, and they take back that lead. The shot just kind of on the ice, deflected up top. It just sneaks by Mehukati under the arm, it looks like. Great job from Santeri. I initially thought he might have batted that in on the rebound, but that was a clean deflection by him, and IQ have taken that lead back.
SAWO very low on time here. 4 minutes to go now. IQ so close. They have a chance here. Just missed the post. Leitinen Not able to put the nail in the coffin here. 3 minutes to go. If IQ can pull off the double, that is a disastrous situation for SAWO. That pass off the mark. 2 minutes to play here. Let's see what SAWO could do. This could have major implications on their season. Expected to be a playoff team, and this would certainly raise the height of the hurdle as a big stop, and it's in! An own goal from Nico. Not much he could do. We are tied at 3. Sin, that is a heartbreaker to say the least.
Yep. I mean, just misfortunate. That's really all you can say about that. Yeah, we're gonna get a replay, hopefully a timeout as well. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. A great save right there, just a great save. And as he picks it up, just one of those things where it's just an automatic thing. You can't do anything about that if you're Nico. Your player will just sort of drag it out in front of him for one reason or another. It hits off of Pierce's leg and goes into the net. That is incredibly unfortunate for IQ and for SAWO. I mean, there you kind of got a saving grace right there. You still have a chance. These points are absolutely massive. You don't want to let them go by, but they're even more massive, you could argue, for IQ. So that really becomes, misfortunate for them here. So we're going to get another look at that goal. Yeah, the amount of time it's sort of, spent rattling around in the equipment of Mehukate. I initially thought Santari came in and, kind of poked that one home, but it was just the deflection that found its way through. So, I mean, you could argue maybe a bit of puck luck for either side right there on those two last goals. So back to sort of square one, tied up here. 1 minute remaining here, 3-3.
That will technically be Wiegelson's second goal of the game. This one up for grabs here. That commentator's curse of saying next goal would win. Well, so much for that. As we march on, Santari in a little bit of space here. Back to the point now. Nico looking for redemption. Couldn't get that shot off. Leitinen throws it on. Glove stopped by Mehukati. Under 36 seconds to go in regulation.
Yeah, IQ's shown this all series long so far. Just resiliency. Every time something bad happens, they get scored on. They're right back in on the attack, getting chances.
High up off the draw. SAWO in possession now. See if they can find a way into the attacking zone. Loose puck recovered by Make Axel for IQ. They'll have a chance now going down the other way. What a feed there. Leitinen in space. Toe drag scores! What a goal! Leitinen finds the difference maker with less than 30 seconds to go. IQ have the lead back once more. Sin, what a phenomenal goal.
Wow. I mean, carrying two guys on his back right there, trying to back check, then toe drags around the defender, and then still beats the goaltender there on that blocker side on the forehand. Ridiculous effort from Leitinen, singular effort from him on that play. But now they got to hold off this league. SAWO's going to be throwing everything they can at him.
10 seconds to go. Time for one rush. EA Bunka has it. Not on the score sheet yet tonight. Knocked loose, and that'll do it. IQ will pull off the double on SAWO, severely affecting SAWO's ability to perhaps make the playoffs this season. Sin, that was such an impressive and crucial performance for IQ.
Yeah, now the only saving grace for SAWO is that you have more games to catch back up, but not even picking up a single point when you were so close to doing. I mean, look at the sticks he's avoiding on that play and somehow finds space on that blocker side with Mehukate sort of overplaying that side of the ice too, knowing that you can't really get back onto that backhand side. I mean, after the toe drag, he maybe could have, but he elects to go for that on the blocker side. Oh, my goodness. I mean, that was just absolutely filthy from Leitinen. And when SAWO thought they were at least going to pick up 1 point, Leitinen and IQ say no, and just an outstanding two-game set by IQ. And those were 4 massive points that they needed here in the course of the season, as now they're up to 24 games played. So picking up those 4 points is huge.
Absolutely. I mean, Sin, as you mentioned, it will still be 4 games at hand for SAWO, but unless my calculations are wrong, they are 7 points behind IQ now. That might just be a bit too much to overcome here. SAWO with 10 games left in the regular season. The task of making it back into playoff, I mean, they're in playoff contention, but making it into one of those playoff spots, which they had found themselves in for the past couple of weeks, that much more difficult now moving forward. So again, a huge moment for IQ in terms of trying to secure themselves a playoff spot in their first season in Elite. We always say, Sin, expect the unexpected. With this season, it continues to live up to the hype. Still a lot of drama to play out there towards the bottom half of the playoff bracket, and the teams that are on the outside looking in, and we will see one of those teams on the outside looking in on the flip side of this brief intermission as Jyväskylä, similar situation, trying to work their way back into the playoffs. Never thought we'd be saying that, but here we are. Problem is, they take on Philadelphia, our number 1 seed. No easy task, to say the least. A big congratulations to IQ for a strong performance. We'll see you all after this brief intermission for our second series of this cast.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
All right, everybody, and we are back. Thank you for sticking with us here. And if anything, I mean, hey, you should be thanking us because of the broadcast, this action that you're about to see here. Because again, Sin, it is always a treat to see Philadelphia in action. Although, this matchup maybe not what we thought it would be heading into this season in terms of where these two teams find themselves. But before we get into talking about the matchup that we have, a quick look at the latest results from around the league. Of course, you would have just seen the IQ and SAWO series. Elsewhere, though, H-Reds pulling off the double against YMCA. That's H-Reds' first series of 2 here tonight. We have one reported result from ZSC and Tunnel Vision, which is a huge win for the Swiss contingent there to be able to make up some ground on Tunnel Vision and get further away from our bottom spot. Sin, again, it's a constantly evolving situation here, as the standings will show as well. I'll ask you what stands out for you here, but I mean, again, it's just kind of the same points here, where everywhere you look, there's a story, and you just still don't really know how it's all going to play out.
Yeah, I mean, IQ did themselves immense favors in that last series right there, up to 27 points now with 6 games remaining. They're going to probably, want to try to get at least, half of the wins there in their remaining games. I'm not too sure what their schedule's like and what teams they're playing, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. You're going to have to pick up some points. You can't just stand pat there with 27 points because, despite the distance right now, SAWO, Jyväskylä especially, they still can make up some ground. It'll be tough for Jyväskylä in this matchup here, and Vesapampa as well, not out of the running, still with those only 20 games played. I mean, it's the gap is widening between the left and right side of the bracket, but it's completely not out of reach for that 9, 10, 11 slot.
Those top 4 teams on that right-hand side, Sin, all with playoff aspirations this season. I believe 3 out of the 4, of course, made the playoffs last year, if not 4 out of 4. It's incredible to see just how quickly things can change on a season-by-season basis. But with that, we'll take a closer look now at the matchup upcoming. Let's get you a look at the team stats here, as it is Jyväskylä against our defending champions in Philadelphia. And Sin, the numbers really do speak for themselves.
Yeah, it's just kind of bizarre where Jyväskylä, they can't really find the offense, and they're not being that, defensive shutdown team that they have been in the past. They don't have good special teams. Again, it's just kind of nothing seeming to be going in the favor of Jyväskylä so far. And, it may seem like we're being hard on them, but that's just because I'm sure they're feeling the same way. They were just, the playoff team. They were the 1 seed, and then they were a playoff team. And, now all of a sudden they kind of just found themselves in this funk right here where they don't they can't quite figure out how to sort of get back there. Something is just kind of missing from this squad. And Philadelphia, the complete opposite. Everything's sort of going in their favor. You could argue, oh, maybe they could get that power play up there more, but that's a minor complaint when you have a 4-to-1 goals for to goals against ratio. That is ridiculous.
So with that, we'll take a look at the lineups here tonight for Ique Jyp, Yoki, Antti, and the captain Indy up top. Sile and Amari on defense. Sandro between the pipes. And of course, for Philadelphia, it is the 6 that you would expect as well. Playmaker, the captain Potzloff and Ique. Teemu Loimu on defense. Kape between the pipes, and we'll get into the individual breakdowns as we always do, and we'll start off with that center battle. Potzloff against Antti and Sin. There is a drastic difference here compared to what you might have expected heading into the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, the huge point differentials when it comes to Philadelphia and kind of everyone else besides H-Reds here. But yeah, especially when in a matchup that you thought might have been closer, especially with the acquisition of Yoki on that front end, just hasn't gotten to that either. And Potzlov's going to have the tiny advantage on the faceoffs, at least numbers-wise. So we'll see how much of an effect that'll have in this series.
That, of course, we'll take a look at the winger battle here as well. The previously aforementioned Yoki alongside Indy, Playmaker and Ique on the opposite side. And again, Sin, as you would expect, after looking at the team stats, there's quite the chasm in terms of point production here between these four.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Yoki leading his team with 28 points, which is nice. But then you look on the opposite side, Playmaker, 55 points, Ique, 59. And that is good enough for being tied for first amongst this division and actually first in assists by himself with 41. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice to have goal scorers like Potzloff and Playmaker there to dish the puck off to as well as on the back end, too. I mean, there's just threats everywhere on the ice when it comes to Philadelphia.
Ique in the past week as well, regaining his crown as GWC champion in the Euro side of things. For Yoki as well, though, it has to stand out, Sin, of course. He led the elite division in point production last season. He had 78 points in 30 games last year for H-Reds. Has to be a frustrating season for him. We thought this might be a good match, a good fit. So far, that's not been the case. We look at the defensive battle here now as well. Ique Jyp sporting another new addition in Sile, who came over from the former Root squad, now once more Rusty Blades. He's alongside Omari. Of course, Teemu made the jump as well to a new club. Actually jumped a couple of times, ends up on Philadelphia. He's alongside Loimu. And, I mean, at the very least, in this matchup, a little bit closer, all four of these guys capable of putting up points.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this is where, Ique Jyp is close to that level of Philadelphia. Their defensemen in Sile and Ilmari are terrific. I mean, they're in there. They're amongst that. Sile tied for, in 10th place in assists and actually 3rd place when it comes to shots from defensemen. And, Ilmari 5th when it comes to goals amongst defensemen, 7th in assists, 6th in points. I mean, they're very close to their opponents on that side, and Teemu and Loimu, who again are also leaders in multiple categories there. So Ique Jyp, if there's some kind of positive you could look for, is that your defensive production is on par with that of Philadelphia's.
Of course, our final head-to-head here, as always, the goaltenders, Sandro against Kape. Sin, you talk about the drastic difference in terms of the stat lines here. Sandro, again, maybe not quite where you would expect him to be. I think closer to that 80% is where you'd expect. He's not even at 75, whereas Kape continues to prove that he is, but for my money, the best goaltender when it comes to NHL esports in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Over an 85 save percentage, just allowing, the one goal against. He's the only goalie slotting in for Philadelphia over the course of the season. Just 6 shutouts this year, a little bit off pace from his record-breaking season last season, but I'm sure he'll forgive himself for that, as it's all about the W. It's all about the team performance, and at the end of the day, they're gunning for that repeat.
A decent amount of time this season, that goals against average was below a 1.0 as well. With that, as always, we'll take a look at our 3 keys to success. We'll start off with Ique Jyp and what they have to look to do. What stands out?
Well, first things first, I mean, they're going to have to find that offense. Now, of course, it's going to be easier said than done against a team like Philadelphia, but you've struggled to find it all season long. Better late than never. This is the matchup you can at least prove to yourself that you can still hang with the big dogs up top. And the second point is the not-so-special teams, the offensive struggles have resulted in a bottom 4 power play, and they're also sporting the 11th ranked PK. They essentially need, improvements all across the board when it comes to special teams and kind of all across the boards when it comes to every single stat here. The third and final point here is Sando. It's a Simpsons reference. Yes, indeed. Below average, below his personal expectations. But again, in this matchup, it's a huge chance to turn it around. And if you can have a strong performance and kind of spark your team, get a split against Philadelphia, that could sort of change the outlook of Jyp Jyväskylä, and they can maybe go on a late season run here.
Why, he's the best in the business, folks. My own personal Ron Burgundy, who will say whatever I write on the teleprompter. We look at what we have for Philadelphia here as well. Sin, what stands out?
Well, it's the two-way play. They are the best in the business. The defensive ability of the forwards cause every team to face an immense amount of trouble. Just whatever zone they're in, neutral zone, offensive zone, defensive zone, the pressure from Philadelphia comes out in every single front. Expect to see that on display tonight. The second point here is the defense leading to offense. Teemu and Loimu are two of the best at putting up points from the blue line, but also a couple of the best at starting those breakouts, feeding the puck up to those dynamic forwards, playmaker Ique and, even Potzloff there. And it's also nice that both of those defensemen are top 4 in scoring this season. The last point here, we always have to break it out because of the real life run that's happening and of the continued amazing success of Kape. It's Kape Price back there. The best goalie in the division continues to do what he does best, and he is so crucial to this team's success.
So again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop. Teams already in the lobby. You'll love to see it. When the teams are on time, the schedule goes. It's perfect. Seamless, and you'll love to see it. So, Sin, very intrigued to see how this one will play out. Of course, not so much of a talking point anymore when it comes to the lobbies because we pretty much expect to see the same thing. Puck-moving defenseman, a playmaker at center. It's just how it goes. So, not much of a talking point there, but I think right now, in terms of these talking points, it's a good thing these teams are ready to go because I think there's only so much that you can reiterate Jyp Jyväskylä's struggles and praising Philadelphia for their success.
Yeah, and when we're getting to the point where I'm noticing what kind of gamer picks people are having, you could definitely say that we're running out of those talking points. Nice little pinup that Ique has. I'm curious about that. I think I saw Chewbacca for Auntie there, so gotta love the personalities that we can see it come out from these guys. Yeah, puck drop right around the corner here, so yeah, we're gonna have to see how this one will play out on the ice. You got to think Philadelphia. They're wanting to get the 2-0 against this team where in the past we'd say this is a good chance for a split. This season, Jyp Jyväskylä hasn't proven to us that they can hang with these teams up here as they sit out of a playoff spot.
Philadelphia in the normal orange and black that they have. Jyp Jyväskylä, of course, as well. And on the attack here early, a 2-on-1 potentially developing. Good defense there by Loimu. That toe drag stripped away. Ique couldn't get that outlet pass to playmaker. As always, keep in mind the gold helmets representing the team's leading scorer. You saw Yoki there for Jyp Jyväskylä. That's Ique on the other side. So, battle on the wings and see how this one plays out. I mean, this is a huge test for Jyp Jyväskylä at this stage. They really do need results. Philadelphia losing just one game so far this year. It was to H-Reds in overtime. That one doesn't find the back of the net. Ique able to recover. Potzloff has a lot of space to work with. Able to find playmaker now. Self-sauce back to Ique. Potzloff scores! That quick, that efficient, that ruthless. Philadelphia find their opening goal. Potzloff's 23rd of the year. City entered play today, 9th in the league, and you can see why there.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why Ique is the leader in assists, well, look no further than that play right there. Excellent job from playmaker, the pass back to Ique, who generates enough threat. Even though he's not a top goal scorer, you have to respect his goal scoring ability. He does have 18 on the season, but he dishes over to Potzlav, who finds just an incredible shooting position, a soft spot in the coverage of Jyp Jyväskylä, blasts it home, 1-0 Philadelphia.
Started blasting. Philadelphia up 1-0 early on. See what happens now moving forward. An offside call there. Worst case scenario, though, Sin, to say the least, for Jyp Jyväskylä giving up that early goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to get off to a good start, and there's kind of no worse start for Jyp Jyväskylä than that right there. And Philadelphia, I mean, they've been doing it kind of all year. Once they sense that weakness, they jump on it, they pounce on it, they do not give up the advantage. But good defense right there on the point, and numbers coming back the other way.
Puck here sent down low, quickly back in front by Antti. No one on the receiving end of that one. As Potzlav has a bit of a step here, nudged off the puck from the back pressure. Let's see what Jyp can do going down the other way. A turnover there by Yoki. In space here for Ique as playmaker with him. Poked just wide. Couldn't steer that one in the far side as that one stopped by Sandro. Good pressure here. That pass off the mark, though. Philadelphia getting some A-grade chances early on, finding a lot of space for Potzlav, but here's Yoki in all alone. He misses just wide. If you need a play, I think that encapsulates the season for Jyp Jyväskylä, it's Yoki of all people who, perhaps more than anybody else, especially last season, Sin, if you said, hey, who could you have on a breakaway for your team, it would have been Yoki. No dice on that one.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate right there. I mean, cutting across the net on that forehand, avoiding the defensive skill stick. Sort of a picture-perfect scenario, but as a playmaker nudged his shot wide earlier, Yoki does the same right there. It remains 1-goal differential.
Spins back here, can't throw that one on. Potzlav very much in the way. Back to the point here, looking, knocked loose one more time. Potzlav able to gain the line rather easily. Quick drop back to Loimu. Potzlav again tried to feed Ique. He does knock it loose after turning it over, though. Still has it. One-timer from the point there for Teemu and a big stop. Incredible pace here to this first period. 4.5 to go. An icing call here, though, and we'll see what happens for Jyp Jyväskylä. You need this face-off one.
Yeah, it was a good chop out of the zone. Just had a bit too much speed on it. Does go down to icing, so huge opportunity for Philadelphia to keep the pressure on.
Step play, fired just wide. Chance for Loimu. I mean, Sin mentioned it, how involved the defense gets. Potzlav trying to jam one home. Puck still loose. Jyp Jyväskylä will recover. Try to lead it back down the other way. Here's Sile stepping in. Quick drop back to Yoki. That follow-up pass, though, just nowhere to go. Here's Ique with speed. Potzlav just couldn't hold on to it. Ique still fighting for it now. Potzlav loses it. Positioning for Ilmari. Here's Yoki. Has Indy with him. Drops back. Can't get that pass or shot off, regardless of what he was looking for. As we approach the final minute, here's Playmaker. Looking. Once upon a time, a 60-goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. Sin, I think it was 60 back in the day, a couple seasons ago. Philadelphia definitely decided to turn on that more defensive style. 6 seconds here for Ique to work with. Pass on net. Sandro able to stop it. 2.7 to go. Plenty of time for a face-off play here. See what they can do. Kape stays in goal. They won't elect to have that extra attacker out there. Potzlav jumped the draw. Jyp Jyväskylä will be able to kill the clock. But a 1-0 lead for Phila after one.
Yeah, and it's always a bit more difficult for the right-handed center on that side. You have to show the forehand, and with the amount of time left, you almost have to try to win it clean. It can be a very, very easy counter for the opposing center right there. I kind of wonder if he was maybe thinking of trying the stick lift forehand a bit slower, but still could have gotten to Teemu. He could have taken the shot, maybe made the pass over. Nonetheless, he jumps, they lose that draw, so doesn't matter perhaps what they had planned. As we get another look at that goal right there, just, I mean, prototypical Philadelphia. They make an incredible couple passes and blast it home right there. And, I mean, that's just what you expect. The front three getting involved early, and they hold that lead starting up the second period here with it.
Let's see how this one plays out now. Jyväskylä, again, we've talked about it, the offensive struggles compared to the talent level that they possess. Here's Sile, rips one, glove, stopped by Kape. Sin, he made it look easy.
Absolutely, and that's definitely a more difficult shot than it seems, and I like the mentality from Sile to take that shot. He had the shooting lane just trying to pick that corner, but you said it, swallowed up by the glove of Kappa.
That one fought on for Philadelphia, back in control. Too many layers in defense for Ique to get that pass through, and that one just off the mark as well. Playmaker to the point. Teemu tried to go back down, still fighting for it. Goes around, Ique gives chase, good outlet pass, and Jyp goes flying as Loimu trips him up. Good chance for the Jyp power play, Sin, although as mentioned, they've struggled.
Yeah, a bit of a panic poke there from Loimu as he was getting beat by Jyp, and something you always got to be careful of. Jyp just so good, so quick, but we're seeing another quick forward playmaker win the race and going to be able to get some possession. Well played by Sile to knock him off that puck quickly.
See what Jyp can do after a little bit of a scare there. Sile able to gain the zone, still has it. Finds its way back to Indy. Good movement here. No dice for Jyp, and the puck's cleared out. 50 seconds to go now on the man advantage. Nice drop pass at the line. Pass over. Indy. Here's Sile. Rips one just wide. Jyp back down low for Ranti. Good movement. Sile another shot. Rebounds there. Kape able to make the stop on the opportunity for Jyp.
Oh, man, and Indy got to be kicking himself right there. The puck was right there. Kape was off the post. He just couldn't get the handle on it, and it was a follow-up opportunity from Jyp, I believe, and Kape was there to make the stop right there. So a good job from Jyväskylä. Perhaps a bit of misfortune on the rebound bounce, but nonetheless unable to capitalize here. And remains at 1-0, but that's the good thing. They have only allowed one goal so far, so they're playing relatively well defensively. It's just about finding that scoreboard.
See what happens here. Villa back in on the attack. Only for the moment there. It went back to the neutral zone. They are offside. 13 minutes to play here in the second period. So then it's just a matter of how it's going to pan out at this stage. See how it plays out now. Jyväskylä trying to get something going. They can't. Playmaker generating speed down that right-hand side on the off wing. Loose puck. What a chance for Loimu. Tried to go back to the short side. Just couldn't squeeze that one inside the post. It's Potsloff now fending off all kinds of trouble from Jyp, who is able to win it back by the end of that, though. Sile the feed over to Ilmari. Still has it. Loose puck in front after the sweep attempt from Jyp. Good job by Sile. Shutting down Playmaker, but Ique has it once more for Phila. Playmaker. Now it's Loimu. Over to Teemu, pinching in. Pass across. Couldn't shovel that one home. Good chance for Playmaker. Got a loose puck. Philadelphia able to recover it after shutting down the opposition at the line. Big hit there by Loimu. Philadelphia back in possession here. I mean, the longer this goes without that next goal, gotta wonder who that favors more. As Indy to the point. Trouble there for Ilmari. Filler right back in control. Here's Ique with speed and options. Puck in front again. Playmaker just not able to get a piece of that one. 6.5 to play now. Get back in on the attack. Another big interception there by Loimu. Playmaker goes back to work. Potsloff forced to drop that one back into the zone. Loose puck finds its way over to Ique. Along the half wall, takes the hit, still in control. Playmaker banks it off the back of the net. And Jyp will be able to take this one away. Big step up here for Ilmari. Pass in front, taken away by the defense. A great chance there, though. Playmaker with speed, able to get into the open space. Loose puck in front, corralled by the defense. But look at that forechecking pressure from Ique. 3 minutes to go. Jyp on the attack now. See what they can do. In front, second chance. Still not able to get a piece of it. They're getting pucks to dangerous areas, Sin, but they just can't find a way to put it past the netline. Chance here now, Ique. That's aim back again, and another turnover here. Minute to go now in this second period. Still 1-0 Philadelphia, and there's the offside.
Yeah, just really fast pace here. But yeah, you said, I mean, Ique Jyp getting pucks to those dangerous positions, but good positioning from the Philadelphia defense to sort of, get pokes, incidental contacts, bodies in front of players, not allowing them any really clean looks. So it's getting a bit frustrating for Ique Jyp where they're able to get to the areas they want, but, as you said, they just can't kind of get the finish.
6 seconds to work with here. One-timer knocked down. And that'll pretty much do it as Potzloff going to try to make a play. Has no time. 1-0 Philadelphia through 2. Just 9 registered shots. Yip's hanging in there, but Sin, hanging in there is not enough.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hanging in there is, I would honestly say, maybe even a bit of an understatement. I wouldn't say they've looked too bad in this matchup so far. I mean, they're able to get some chances. They're shutting down a lot of what Philadelphia wants to do as well. But yes, they haven't been able to capitalize. And we're kind of saying it down the stretch here, those moral victories, those mental edges, they kind of lose their value here as you just need wins. You just need points. And, Ique Jyp, they got to find a way to find the back of the net and at least, get the game tied, at least force overtime. They desperately need points, but almost up the middle was Playmaker splitting the D.
Always dangerous. You can't relax for a second. Here's Yoki with speed, cutting in. Can't get that shot off. Teemu all over it. Potzloff having trouble along the half wall. He's able to maintain possession. Here's Ique now. Options. Potzloff tried to walk in. Up the pads of Sandro. One will go all the way down. No icing on the play. Loimu. On the back of the net there. D to Teemu, who has a little bit of trouble with Indy. Antti still fighting for this one. Tried to feed Indy in front. Potzloff all over it. Able to hit Ique now at the blue line. Back down for Potzloff. Playmaker. Again, the centerman recovers quick. Movement from Philadelphia here. Playmaker down low. What are they looking for? They're not going to find it regardless. Good interception there by Omari. Every attack oh so dangerous for the defending champs. That shot deflection bid for Playmaker, but a big stop by Sandro. 2-on-1 here perhaps. That one thrown on. Kappa, the easy stop. Maybe not so easy to get that angle right to take away a rebound, but hey, he nailed it.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea there from Yoki, who wasn't going to have enough speed as he kind of had to slow to get the puck pickup, but looking for that rebound, hoping for just maybe a fortunate bounce in their favor there. Unable to get it, but again, yeah, Ique Jyp, I mean, still in this one. They just, still trying to find that goal marker, and we know Philadelphia, their chances continuing to look dangerous.
Again, that incredibly quick cycle here for Philadelphia. Loimu. One-timer off the post for Potzloff. What a chance there. Ique back in on the attack here now for Phila. Playmaker. What a cut in. Just not able to hold on to it. And a big opportunity here. Chance for Antti. Pass across. Loose puck. Stopped by Kape. And another one. But a power play coming up for Ique Jyp. I think this is a must-score situation.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, that was a huge chance right there. The dive from the defenseman, I think, yeah, that was Teemu. He'll be off to the box. Sort of stopped the play, but also generates a trip. But we'll see what Ique Jyp can do on this power play. Unfortunately, a bouncing puck splits the defense, and they will have to reset in the neutral zone.
Back in now. Here's Yoki down low. Went for the wraparound. Ique was all over it, and again cleared out. One and done on the chances. Minute to go on the man advantage here now. Time it well at the line. Sile. Good movement here. Omari nothing to do though. That feed with Indy who couldn't hold on to it. Omari has it again. Shot on. Stopped by Kappa.
Yeah, just great puck movement there. Good job to hold the line. Indy there opts for the short side, hoping to catch Kape maybe, sort of anticipating the far side there, but not fooled whatsoever.
Stile couldn't throw that one on. Playmaker holds, drops back to Ique. Then back to Playmaker. Potzloff, you can tell, not those shorthanded bids. We are back to 5-on-5. Teemu out of the box. Playmaker all alone on the breakaway. Flying poke check by Sandro takes it away. Nervous moment there. Great job by the defense. Omari was able to catch up and help make a play. Chance there. That one thrown on. He ended up passing it on goal. Omari one more time down low. Yoki tries to pick the corner. Top and another stop. 5 minutes to play here in regulation. One-timer taken away. Here's Zaki, able to find Loimu, trying to fend off the pressure. Past the playmaker. He holds. Goes around to Loimu. Eki looking. Great block. That corner was open. Under 4 minutes to go here for Jyväskylä. One-timer, they score! It's Elmari who's able to find the back of the net. Entered play today, tied, if not outright, in 5th place for goals by defensemen. That's his 8th of the year. And Sim, perhaps no bigger goal this season that he scored.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge from Amari right there. And that was a chance that Jyväskylä's looked for a couple times. It's been shut down. The last time it was shut down was an intercept from Playmaker, but they find it right there. But you can see Philadelphia not happy about giving that up. They were right back in on the attack, but sort of looking like the Jyväskylä of old now. Like great defense, eventually leads to offense. And it's good to see them kind of in this form against this Philadelphia squad here late in the season.
Again, only one goal for Phila. Rather shocking, all things considered. Definitely have to give the praise there to Jyväskylä being able to hang in there with them. See what happens down the stretch here. Final minute of regulation. Playmaker has it. Wraparound bid taken away by Sile. On the back is Eki. He can't hold on to it. Potzloff wins it back. Eki on the doorstep. Loose puck still. Eki recovers in the corner. This one on the left-hand side. Potzloff gets a second chance. Still can't hold on to it. Loimu keeps it in. Down to Playmaker now. Looks for the rifle pass taken away. Under 30 seconds to go here in overtime point. Would be huge for Jyväskylä at this point in time. Loimu has it. 17 to go. Loimu once more. Can't get over the line. Omari takes the hit. Indy not able to hold on to it either. 7 seconds to go. Eki has it. Can he get over the line? Playmaker. Eki loose puck, and indeed, Jyväskylä with that late goal force overtime. Huge moment for them, Sin, as well. They have a chance of getting that second point.
It's massive number one to hold to hold Philadelphia only to the goal, but also getting that late one yourself, getting the point. I mean, two immense victories from Jyväskylä. Again, not going to harp on too much them not being able to score, as that's been the case this season. As it comes down the stretch here, points and wins, man. Points and wins are all you need, and picking up this one against Philadelphia, absolutely huge. If they could get the second one, I would already say a job well done against our first place team. But anything can happen in overtime. Philadelphia always looks dangerous, always looks aggressive. We'll see if Jyväskylä can stave off the early attack.
It would not be a broadcast with Sid and I without at least one overtime game. So, hey, continuing on the tradition there. Let's see what Phila can do, as that was a good chance for Potzloff. Jyp in control for the moment. Antti with nowhere to go. Over the line now. Loimu, Eki. Down low, bides his time. Good movement again from Philadelphia to work this around. Looking for that lane in front. Can they get the defense moving? Great chance for Potzloff. Sandro's had a much better performance here today. Playmaker going to try to walk away with this one. Foot race with Yoki. What a chop. But Eki not able to get a stick to that one. In order to settle it down, offside call there. Yoki just not able to get that foot drag.
Yeah, maybe expecting that pass, but also was trying to create the room for him to skate in as well. Yeah, you said it. Just maybe unfortunate with the foot drag there, unable to hold the line. Almost actually getting that off of the Philadelphia tie-up was Yoki too, but just kind of ran into a body.
They gain the line once more, but only for the moment. Here's Yoki. Not able to find Indy on that pass. Philadelphia trying to find that space on the breakout and able to do so. One of Jyp's better performances of the season from a defensive standpoint. But here's Ique. Can he get around the defense? Holds up. Great interception by Yoki on the back check. Here's Ique, though, once more off that turnover. And that low cycle here. Playmaker in front. Nearly found Loimu. In sin for both teams. The story has been incredibly close calls as this will go down for icing. 11:22 to go.
Yeah, I think just a missed angle on that slat pass. Had he kind of hit the corner out of betting, it could have popped out for Playmaker and Ique, who did have, comparable steps to the fence. Maybe could have won the race to the puck, but unfortunately goes for icing. Quick shot on. Almost catches Kafe off guard.
Just wide on that chance. 10.5 remaining here in OT1. Who knows how many overtimes it could take. Season opening broadcast, we had a 5 overtime thriller. We'll never let those guys forget that one. Potzloff going to try to come up with it and does. Playmaker. Nowhere to go. Great defense. Sile has it. Leads it down the other way. Takes a big hit. And the puck's back into the neutral zone. The line once more. Again, nowhere to go. Fila back in control. Yoki. A lot of pressure on Ique. Potzloff as well. Jyväskylä is certainly going for it here with this offensive pressure. Playmaker sealed off by Omari. He has it now. Gets it into the attacking zone, but only goes that far. Playmaker able to hold. Finds Ique. Potzloff tries to go back to Ique, and he just couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. Jyväskylä, chance off the side of the goal for Ranti. Chances on both sides of the ice here in this overtime. So Mari off the interception. Here come Jyväskylä right back in on the attack. The captain Indy looking. He only got that pass to the far side. Sile has it knocked loose. Playmaker able to find Ique. Looking. Ique. Playmaker banks it off the back of the net to get it back to Ique. Loimu. Teemu, one-timer deflection. Rebound was there. And great coverage by Sandro on a trip, though. As Jyväskylä play it out, I think it caught the team off guard. And Philadelphia will go to the power play for the first time here. As it's going to be Yoki taking a seat. They win the draw. Sile gets it back to the neutral zone. But will that mistake be enough? This puck back to the neutral zone once more. But Sin, in the final 2 minutes, the clock slows down. So plenty of time to work with here for Phila. Miscommunication there, though. Ique again back to Loimu. Teemu shot blocked down in front by his own man. Playmaker for Loimu. Back to Playmaker. Hit the side of the goal. One-timer again blocked down in front. Relentless pressure here from Philadelphia. Potzloff looking as Ique. Playmaker. Potzloff blocked down. Unable to clear. Phila still in on the attack. Ique has it knocked loose. Sile is able to finally at least get it back to the neutral zone. A great chop there by Playmaker, though. Try and keep that pressure on. As it's Teemu with speed. Finds Ique. Along the off wing, has options. Finds Playmaker. Great rotation. Nearly. We'll put the 8-ball into the corner pocket there. Pass in front, still there, bouncing around off the side of the goal. Philadelphia still in control. Good interception there by Indy, and he'll send it all the way down. 30 seconds to work with here on the Philadelphia power play. 35 to go in this first overtime frame. Teemu pinching down and in. Playmaker finds Loimu. Potzloff circles back. Ique looking. Big stop by Sandra. Shot again, the rebound taken away. 5 seconds to work with on the power play. Ique looking, finds Loimu, shot it just wide. And it's settled down. We will see a second overtime between these two teams. Still deadlocked at 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, and that was a massive, massive penalty kill from Jyväskylä, but Philadelphia looked incredibly deadly on that, hungry for those loose pucks, and they kept picking them up. I mean, chance after chance for them, the zone time, the patience, the shots that they're able to get, some of them just going, wide or, just away from a stick off the rebound. I mean, really, that was survival mode for Jyp Jyväskylä, but they kill it off, and they're able to reset here for the second overtime there. And, again, now they're, still in it, still hanging in there. All it will take is perhaps a bounce right here in Philadelphia. I mean, still being held to 1 goal is a feat in itself for Jyp Jyväskylä.
See who's able to find the difference-making goal here is Playmaker. We get that interception. Potzloff right back into the attacking zone for Philip. Ique, one-timer again, blocked down. Philadelphia, you can tell, want to end this one here, obviously. I mean, a lot more willing to throw these pucks on net. That willingness to adapt. Good movement, but a better interception there by Yoki on the back pressure. Big spin. Forced to reset in the neutral zone now. Just taking their time, waiting it out. Antti gains the zone, still has it for the moment. Ique able to take that one away. Smart pass to maintain possession. Potzloff over the line, a lot of trouble, and Sile handled it well. See what Jyp can do. That pass off the mark. Loimu gonna dish it off for Potzloff, and back once more. Ique over the line. Back to Loimu. Throws it on with Playmaker in front. Sandro, another very important stop.
Yep. I mean, that was a deflection opportunity for Playmaker. Couldn't tell if he got much of it at all or any of it, but nonetheless, Sandro makes the save, and again, smothers that puck.
Ique, the Playmaker scores. Philadelphia wins it in double overtime. Jyp Jyväskylä gaining a valuable point, but they could only hold on for so long.
Yeah, I mean, the point's huge. But yeah, Philadelphia just kept getting their chances, and that was, the tie-up play that you see a lot. I mean, such kind of a play that sort of everyone needs to know. If you play sixes right there, the tie-up, the winger comes in to get it, the pass across for the 1T. So hard to defend against, so hard to make the save if you're a goaltender, especially when that initial pickup wasn't exactly clean. You kind of hesitate there, and that's all it took for Philadelphia to get that, less important for them second point, but they don't like losing no matter what. And for Jyp Jyväskylä, that's a pretty big point that they let slip away. But again, they played pretty good. They really held off the offensive attack of Philadelphia for the most part, but unable to get the goals that they needed as well. And because of that, Philadelphia gets that win in OT.
So a huge result there for Philadelphia. They stay, again, nearly perfect on the year now, 20-0-1 on the season for Jyp Jyväskylä. They fall to 9-11-3. But a crucial point there as well. We'll see how it plays out as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season. So, we'll see what happens here moving forward. As always, we'll take a brief intermission here, a brief break before our secondary matchup. Stick with us. We'll be back in a moment for our fourth and final game of this broadcast.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors as well for supporting us this season. Greatly appreciated. Sin, as we head into this fourth and final matchup, again, puck drop will be in just a moment. I mean, again, for Ique Jyp, you talked about it, hanging in there with Philadelphia. They certainly had chances, but as that overtime went on, Philadelphia just getting that consistency down. What's it going to take for Jyp here? Because, again, it's just another effort where you get just one goal. And ultimately this season, I mean, entering play today, averaging just over 2 goals per game is not the pace that you would have expected for them.
No, definitely not. And, even more surprising is the defense over the course of the season. But I mean, I think they kind of really sort of settled that in that game. I mean, holding Philadelphia to 1 goal throughout the entire regulation was massive. I mean, some of the chances that Philadelphia were getting, they were still dangerous, but that just, goes to show you that Ique Jyp was doing a good job of keeping them away, not allowing them too many secondary or tertiary opportunities. But yeah, it's just about turning that good defense that they played into offense, which they struggled to do. Yoki, their front three just seemingly at times delaying a bit too much in the neutral zone, but it's well played by Teemu and Loimu. That's what they do so well. They gap you to a point where their forwards can get back, and all 3 forwards from Philadelphia are amazing defensively. So I don't know what Ique Jyp has to do. I'm a little worried for them in the second game because Philadelphia was continuing to look good, looking like they're figuring out Ique Jyp. And you don't want Philadelphia to kind of know what to do against you because they will capitalize, they will pounce, and they could turn things ugly in the second game.
Absolutely. So again, just a few moments away here from this second game, our fourth and final of the broadcast. A friendly reminder as well for the schedule ahead here, because things are just a little bit different this week, of course, compared to usual. So we talk about that schedule ahead at this stage. And Sin, hey, a break is a good thing every once in a while, and that's what we get. No broadcast tomorrow in Finnish as per usual. The next broadcast here on this channel will be on Monday, and you see it there. 2 incredibly big matchups, as well as Havu take on H-Reds. Major implications for the top 3 spots in the standings, and FBK take on Ique Jyp. One heck of a rivalry, to put it kindly. And again, big games for Ique Jyp as well. So again, there is no broadcast in Finnish tomorrow, but we will be back on a Monday. And Sin, in general, some big games next week, next Wednesday, when you and I are back as well. H-Reds and Färjestad. ZSC Esports take on YMCA Esports. I mean, there are some big broadcasts coming up. Of course, next week, the final week of the regular season. Playoff time nearly upon us already. The big question now, we know Philadelphia is making the playoffs, but will Ique Jyp see if they can get these points here? They desperately need them.
Yeah, and if they are able to sort of clutch out a win here, whether it be in overtime or anything else, that will be 3 total points for them, which against Philadelphia is a steal, really, when it thinks about it. But they got to have to continue, find a way to get more offense without sacrificing defense. And that can be easier said than done. But puck drop, the second game's underway. We'll see what they're able to do.
As Ique Jyp right now, a game at hand on IQ, who find themselves in 7th. They are 6 points behind them. In desperate need of 2 points here. They can make no mistakes. Essentially to the back half, the last week here coming up of this regular season. We talk about how quickly the time winds down, where you think, oh, we got time to turn this around. Not so much in a fast-paced 30-game regular season, as that one just wide of Sandro. Will be it back in control, only for the moment. The defense, of course, by Potsdam, and we called that out. The incredible, back-checking and forechecking abilities for this Philadelphia front 3. It makes them the team that they are, but on occasion they get too aggressive. We will have a Ique Jyp power play.
Yeah, I think that's actually, it is. It's Ique going to the box right there. Definitely a rarity, such a good defensive player, and gets caught with the sticks in the feet right there, and Ique Jyp maintain possession.
See what they can do here on this man advantage. Seeley not able to complete that pass, so Murray holds it in. And again, Seeley just not able to make anything happen. Still holding a shot on. Kopp able to make the stop. Down low here for Yoki. Pass in front, just wide on the glove side. Good look, but the puck is sent all the way down. Couple of interesting moments there. Still 30 seconds to work with here now, though. Big hit by Playmaker, disrupts that forward momentum. Mari's got nowhere to go. They get it over to Yoki. Good drop pass. Loose puck, and Philadelphia will survive this kill. Playmaker has it here. Delayed call of their own. Philadelphia will go to the man advantage. As Ique holds it. Campanero to the bench. Ique trying that short side slap shot. Still has the puck. But ultimately, Indy able to touch it up. So trading power play chances here. Let's see if Philadelphia can do what Jyväskylä couldn't. Off the draw. Big set play. Playmaker denied on the one-timer. Chance now for Loima. Able to find Playmaker. It's knocked loose. Sile can't clear. Ike's pass was picked off, and Anti's able to send it all the way down.
Yeah, very close to maybe not getting that out as Loimu backed himself up against the boards to cut off that, what was a saucer pass clear. Unfortunate, unable to cut that out, but they do gain the line.
Ike has it now. Playmaker, the one-timer there for Loimu just doesn't go. One more rush opportunity here coming up now for Philadelphia on their power play. They're over the line. Potzloff, though, draws a trip. They'll stay on the man advantage. Potzloff in front, puck bouncing around. They'll touch it up. Now it's another 2 minutes that they have to kill.
And Jyväskylä are really starting to get in trouble here. The pressure is mounting, and Philadelphia will continue to sort of thrive on that, as they almost had that tie-up play ready.
Do a good job to get it back into the neutral zone here. Let's see what they can do from here, though. That shot blocked down. Ique tried to get it back there. Playmaker unable to hold on to it. Still looking. Ique, short side shot. Good stop by Sandro. And Jyp do a good job to send it all the way down. 45 seconds remaining on this second power play opportunity for Philadelphia. Great stand-up defense there from Ilmari. Indy. You can see him get the puck in deep there as Philadelphia have a chance here. Nearly back to 5-on-5. Potzloff. Ique looking, just missed glove side. They're able to get Antti out. Not able to free him up on a pass. Here's Yoki cutting in. Looking, glove stop by Kape. One of the more difficult saves to make against one of the more difficult players to stop.
Yeah, I mean, Yoki has looked dangerous at times, but Kape, for the most part, has stuck right with him and been able to make the save when he needs.
They win the draw here. Philadelphia in control. Playmaker cuts back, able to find Potzloff, and back to the winger once more. See what they can do. I mean, you know what they're looking for. Looking to get that defense moving. Playmaker again, trying to catch Sandro. Off angle, but not able to do so. Sandro putting in, again, one of his better performances that we've seen all season long. That pass in front again picked off. Sile doing a great job. He has the puck here once more. Stepping in. Antti not able to hold. Sile goes down, and we're going to have another power play chance. The fourth penalty of this first period, 2 apiece. Let's see what Jyväskylä can do on this chance, as it's Potzloff who will take a seat this time. It's Jyp in control here. Sile looking. Tried to take the shot. Nobody in front, though. Playmaker has it. We'll send it all the way down. Sile's pass off the mark, and Sin, you hate to see it, an icing call on your own power play.
Yeah, that's never a good sign, and it was because the Jyväskylä skater kind of started coasting right as the pass got to him. So kind of interesting to see. They're almost a little bit intimidated by the good sticks of Philadelphia when they make those forward passes right there. But nonetheless, yeah, you don't like to see the icing. It's good that they got possession and now gain the zone.
Chance there. It was Amari streaking towards goal. Loose puck held in by Jyp. Amari's shot straight to the chest of Kape. 30 seconds to go on this power play.
Yeah, so they still have time, a chance for just to set something up off this face-off. Anti's going to have to win this once again.
See how this face-off goes now. Ique able to win it clean. Teemu turns it over. Indy off the spin. Get it to Omari. Now Antti back down low. Nearly back to 5-on-5. Omari holding. Loose puck bouncing around. Philadelphia survive. Teams now combined 0 for 4 on the man advantage here in this first period. That slap shot. Set down by Kape. Good save. Jyväskylä, though, starting to get that little bit of extra offensive momentum. Great play by Indy. Threw it on. If that was a buffer or if he just wanted to see what might happen. Catch Kape off guard. Playmaker. Ique not able to get that pass back to him. 10 seconds. A chance for one more rush here, but it's offside.
Yeah, they had to kind of hustle there and looked for that pass, but it was good positioning from Teemu, kind of presenting enough of a threat where he thought he might not be able to squeeze it through, and Antti just caught, still streaking there. But 6.8, if they win this faceoff, they might be able to get something good. Tie-up win from Philadelphia, though.
Struggling for it there. It's Indy able to take it away. That will bring us to the end of the first period. A goalless first period, despite 2 power play chances each.
Yeah, and you can see Ique Jyp more willing to kind of start throwing pucks on net with 5 registered shots with under 2 minutes time on attack. Philadelphia looking for the more quality there as they had the power play opportunities and were able to establish themselves a bit more, but still only those 2 registered shots. So they were definitely looking for certain chances to get, but Ique Jyp good at breaking up passes, a couple shot blocks here and there, but at the same breath, I mean, it's still, even though the game's tied, you still kind of feel like Ique Jyp has that advantage. They just have that air about them. So still, it's on Ique Jyp that's going to sort of, set the tone, getting the first goal here and kind of show that, they can throw perhaps Philadelphia off of their game.
Antti able to take that one away, but only for the moment. It was a 2-1 overtime win for Philadelphia in that first game. Ique the chance. Great stop by Sandro. Playmaker, one-timer, and a maybe more fortunate save for Sandro there as he was going the opposite direction. Still looking for the opening goal of this game. What a chance, and a big stop by Kape! Trading chances. Spectacular saves on both sides. The loose puck is recovered by Jyp. To go down the other way. Trouble there at the line. Here's Playmaker all alone. He's denied! What a glove save by Sandro! Somehow, we still haven't found the opening goal of this game.
This is turning into a goaltender's duel. Kape and Sandro are just doing incredible stuff for their teams. I mean, making huge saves. We've seen trade them at either end, and these teams offensively, I mean, they're getting chances. They're getting in on loan. They're getting one-timers, but these goaltenders are just absolutely just playing their hearts out.
Loose puck here is recovered. Indy with nowhere to go. Help yet to arrive. Playmaker tried to find Potzloff. He does get the puck back. Potzloff on the doorstep. Loose puck just wide of the far side post. Teemu looks. It finds its way down to Playmaker. Potzloff from that odd angle. Not able to get that shot off. Huge hit there by Playmaker. And another one. Philadelphia upping that physical game. Pass off the mark. Teemu will recover. See more of a neutral zone battle developing here now. Here's Playmaker, though, in open space. Self-sauce tried to pull the move. Sile able to shut him down. He'll gather the puck here. He's able to get the out, but can't find Indy. Good defense by Teemu. Potzloff looking. Able to find Ique again, trying that short side shot. Fantastic goaltending here from Sandro in this one. Potzloff has it. Able to find Loim with a shot on. Pinballs around. Off the legs of Yoki, but Sandro still able to make that stop.
Yeah, and you've mentioned it. Philadelphia's been testing that short side quite a bit here. I mean, they have those plays a lot, but it feels like they're doing it a bit extra here against Sandro, hoping to catch him off his angle.
Yoki able to make a play on this one. Teemu, good job to hold it in, but only for the moment. Good movement here down low. Now caught in the backhand, point blank chance. For Indy is denied. Here's Ique, Playmaker, can't get that shot off clean. Ique Jyp have it now. Omari not able to win that foot race with Ique. He gets it back here. Good defense by Omari. Back and forth there. Between those two. Seeley able to find Yoki. Slap shot stopped by Kape. Held in here though. Good interception from Teemu. 4.5 minutes to play now. Playmaker over the line for Philadelphia. Finds Potzloff. Teemu sauced it across and again just couldn't find its intended target. Jyväskylä temporarily in possession here, but Philadelphia back in control. Again a chance. Potzloff scores! Finds that piece of candy in the slot, takes advantage of it. And Philadelphia strike first again.
Yeah, and that's massive. And I even think Sandro got a pretty big piece of it, but it somehow sneaks in. So maybe a bit of fortune for Philadelphia, but that comes from the relentless pressure on offense. And, the front three once again for Philadelphia, getting that opening marker, and Ique Jyp on the back foot once again.
Chance there goes to the wayside. Jyp back in possession. Took him until the final minute of play, roughly. Get that tying goal to force the overtime. At the final minute here in the second period. That pass off the mark. And Jyp find this tying goal before we get to the third and final frame. A lot of traffic there. Big sauce. Here's Teemu. Slap shot just wide. 3 seconds now. Playmaker over the line, tries to get the Potzloff and just ran out of time. So a 1-0 lead for Philadelphia heading into the third. A little bit of deja vu.
Yeah, and I almost saw a trip animation, someone tumbling to the ice. It might have been after the horn blew, so perhaps no penalty, but it did look like there was a trip that happened. A diving person on the ice as Potzloff was trying to send that puck back across. So curious to see if there will be a power play. I don't think there will be, as I didn't see the icon pop up. But yeah, nonetheless, Philadelphia again, kind of well-deserving of that lead, I would say, as they did have the majority of the dangerous chances. They were, getting that time on attack, and at the end of the day, they were able to capitalize here. But again, Ique Jyp is still stifling their offense in a lot of ways, but they can't find the goals themselves either. So it will be just a 5-on-5 here.
Regulation here, Sin. Phenomenal work by you as always. Cover for lack of a button press as Ique tried a little short side tuck, just not able to get it to go. We'll see now. Again, whether or not Ique Jyp can make something happen here. Set play off the draw, that one. Could be shoveled through the traffic. A great job of shutting down the slot. Get held up at the line. Good play, play and patience by Omari. One-timer for Seeley. A tough blocker stop from Kape. Having success with the shots from the point. Tough break, though, for Omari. We have a foot race here for this one. Seeley is going to win it. Ique can't knock it loose. Good pressure. Potzloff keeps it. Looking. What a spin pass attempt that was. Again, both teams, you're almost surprised to know there have only been 4 goals scored here in this matchup so far. The big hit there, Seeley gets dropped. Teemu looking, able to find Playmaker, and Potzloff not able to maintain the line.
Yeah, good job from the defense of Ique Jyp creating that bit of the turnover there, and it actually puts Playmaker off as he initially got the puck. It was hit off, and then Potzloff just kind of his momentum carries him over the line. So again, the defense of Ique Jyp is doing good, almost allowing Ique there in alone. You can see the 2 defensive skill sticks of the defenseman not wanting him anywhere near there with the puck.
Playmaker all alone, knocked loose at the last second. Not something you would expect, but Playmaker not able to bury it. Deflection bid, rebound stopped again by Sandro. Potzloff can't shovel it in on the backhand. Great chances for Philadelphia to add to the lead, but Indy strips it. He leads it down the other way. What a pass there to Antti, but knocked loose once more. Here's Ique. 1-on-2. Shot on, rebound handled by Sandro in the defense. It does raise the question, how have we only seen 1 goal in this game so far? An offside call here, 10:23 to play.
Yeah, it's just been impressive defense, impressive goaltending. I mean, that cannot be overstated. The goaltending from Kape and Sandro coming out has been huge. We've seen several opportunities of Jyp Jyväskylä that could have gone in, but it's been a nice glove or a blocker save just on the edge for Kape, just showing just how good he really is.
Potzloff across for Ique. What a stop by Sandro, and Ique scores! Right place, right time. Too much traffic in front. Ique has the goal. It gives Philadelphia the insurance with 9.5 to play.
And it was a massive first save from Sandro as well. As we're going to look at it, you saw the tail end of it right there, and just the bouncing puck. Ique just holding there in front and is able to get that home and put it home under the what looked like the 5-hole of Sandro there, and 2-0 for Philadelphia. Less than 10 left in the third. It's hard to see Jyp Jyväskylä getting back into this one.
Indeed, averaging about 2 goals a game this season. Great chance. Kape flopping around, still doesn't have it covered. Amari couldn't get the wraparound off. And Jyp Jyväskylä find that offense. It was a little too late. Teemu back to the point. It's knocked down. Another pass that's off the mark. It'll go for icing.
And it's another good opportunity for Philadelphia there to capitalize on a mistake made, as small as they might be. And they look glaring when you take on a team like Philadelphia. If they have a face-off play they're able to pull off, that could be the dagger.
Off the tie-up. Ique had it. Knocked back to the neutral zone, though. Again, mistimed at the line.
Yeah, just, maybe Potzloff expecting that pass, and Loimu thought he might be able to gain the line with pushing that puck in front of him. Nonetheless, a neutral zone face-off, but you got to think the whistle's sort of benefiting Philadelphia.
Chance here for Ique. Stops up. Couldn't get the shot off. Loimu has it. Again, looking for that deflection in front, but it was blocked. Under 5 minutes for Jyp Jyväskylä. Sile on the breakaway. Can't tuck it off the flying poke check from Kape. So much speed there for Sile, and Kape made the right read. Sauce pass to Playmaker. Has Ilmari with them. Playmaker tries to go to Potzloff. Loose puck is still there. But Jyp will come up with it this time. Out now, under 3 minutes to go. Hit at the line. Potzloff can't hold on to it. Nor can Loimu. Jyp still in control here. Ilmari looking. Nobody there. Cleve will get it. What a pass at the line. Ique denied. What a stop by Sandro. Incredible timing there from the Philadelphia forward core. We've hit the final minute. Jyp down by 2. In danger of getting just 1 point out of a possible 4 as Yoki can't get that pass across. Kape is able to get in front of it.
And we're going to see the timeout coming from Jyp Jyväskylä, getting those stamina bars back up with the offensive zone faceoff, perhaps pulling the goalie. I don't know if they'll do it this early, but again, they do need 2 goals. There's only 50 seconds left. If you were going to pull the goalie, now would be the time. I don't think we're going to see that. I think they respect the counterattack and the ability of those Philadelphia forwards to get in, and I'm sure they're able to maybe even shoot it from the neutral zone and make it into the net as well. And, maybe something that Jyp Jyväskylä doesn't want to risk right here, but I did see the empty net thing pop up, so they are going to go for it. Desperation time for you. Oh, never mind. Okay, maybe they put him back. I saw it pop up for a second. I promise.
You got trolled, sir. You got trolled. It would have been a smart move, though, in my opinion. Why not? He keeps bouncing back and forth. Here's Playmaker. Has a step. Ique has it knocked loose at the last moment. There's some mind games there. Huge hit, delayed call against Jyp, and Sin. That will most certainly do it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was a good time to maybe go for a hit. Try to force that turnover, but just a few too many strides leads to a charging call. And yeah, you said it, that should do it. And Potzloff almost burying it right there, which would have surely even more so been the dagger.
It's Yoki in the box here. What can Jyp do? Short-handed. Playmaker has it. Over for Teemu. Gains the line. Has Potzloff. Chance scores! Power play goal for Philadelphia. It's Loimu, his 8th of the year. And that will seal the deal, Sid.
Absolutely, and Loimu, the lowest forward in the zone, but that's what Philadelphia brings to the table. 5 guys who can play pretty much anywhere on the ice. The pinches, they're always going to be covered, and I mean, what It must be so nice to be a Loimu, to know that when you jump up, you have Ique back there covering you on defense, one of the best defensive players in the game, regardless of positions. I mean, you saw it if you kept up with his ones tournament, just unreal.
Final 10 seconds here. Playmaker on the break. Slap shot knocked down. Teemu can't get it through. Potslov's pass is picked off. And for the 7th time this season, Kape has recorded a shutout. A 3-0 Philadelphia victory, moving to 21-0-1 on the season. Jyp Jyväskylä at 9-12-3. I mean, Sin, again, it's incredible to see the gulf between these two teams, but Philadelphia doing what they do. They get results. They've only dropped 1 point all year.
Yeah, and that was pretty clearly the biggest save that we saw from Kape, that shot on the ice trying to go 5-hole. Gotta love the replay selection. But yeah, you said it. I mean, Jyp Jyväskylä looked good enough in that first game, and for the most part looked good enough in the second game, but you kind of saw what's been haunting them all season. It's the inability to put the puck in the net. And as good as defensively as they played, you're not going to win many games scoring 1 goal. You're not going to win any games scoring 0 goals. Philadelphia puts in the complete game performance in that second one. And I'm sure they don't mind too much of giving up the 1 point for Jyp Jyväskylä, considering where they are in the standings. It's another huge 4 points for Philadelphia. I'm sure they maybe think, there's a couple things that they can improve on, but that's just Philadelphia. They're always hungry to improve, and that's why they're at the top of the standings. And Jyp Jyväskylä, being unable to kind of score this year, unable to kind of get it going, it's in part why they find themselves on the outside looking in of the playoff picture. And it's just unfortunate to how their season's gone, but it is what it is. And Philadelphia, great performance there.
So again, week 5, our penultimate week of the season, has come to a close. The home stretch begins next week. Again, we know Philadelphia essentially playoff bound. For Jyp Jyväskylä, it is still very much a toss-up. Again, that reminder, we do not have a broadcast for you in Finnish tomorrow, so enjoy what we'll consider a bit of a long weekend away from NHL gamer-related activities here. And of course, Sin and I will be back on a Monday. Some big matchups there, as you see it. Havu and H-Reds could very well be the battle for the 2 seed in the playoffs. And of course, Jyp Jyväskylä, we'll see them in action again against Färjestad, one of our best rivalries. And we do need to see whether or not Jyp Jyväskylä can, kind of catapult that, all things considered. And Sim, before we get out of here, we actually have a look at the latest results, because we talked about that 2 seed for H-Reds. They dropped a, they dropped a point. They dropped a point to Poggers, of course, as well, but still walking away, or at least Poggers were able to pick up a crucial point there, is how I was meaning to phrase that, of course. So, it's interesting to look at that. H-Reds, of course, played a lot of games today against YMCA. They went 4-0. Really puts the pressure on Havu heading into that matchup as well. You see the results there for Goons pulling off the double against Vesapampa. That really hurts Vesapampa's at making the postseason.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, Coons just continuing to impress here as one of those new teams here in the ECL Elite, especially against Vesapampa, who found themselves oftentimes in this season in a playoff position, who today found themselves within reach, but to only get 1 point out of the possible 4 against Goons, that, as you said, is detrimental to their playoff hopes, and Goons really solidifying themselves as a playoff team here. I don't think they're dropping out at this point.
Absolutely. And again, you get a look at the standings here, which I do believe are one off the mark in terms of the last game. Of course, Philadelphia now on 43 points rather than the 41. Again, we are heading into the final week of our regular season. The left side of the bracket is where you want to find yourselves, but when you have that much of a discrepancy, some teams on 20 games, some teams on 26 played out of 30, you never quite know how it's going to play out. Of course, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need as we continue to see how it plays out. But for now, we will call it a week. We will be back. Again, the home stretch begins on Monday. We hope to see you then. Of course, you can catch Sin on Twitter. The tag is right there on your screen, of course. You can also catch him on YouTube at Sin for the Win Productions. Myself everywhere at Tuki24. We'll see you all next week. We're going to find out who makes the playoffs.
Marko tekee maalin!
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.